If we had, yes, donate to the school, $ FDMG school on your Cash App. 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 If you need to mail in your donation, make it payable to the FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634. P.O. Box 9634. P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. That is Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. We appreciate $1, but we would rather have 10. We appreciate $20, but we would rather have 50. We appreciate $50, but we would rather have 100. We appreciate $100, but we would rather have 200. We're trying to renovate a school, brothers and sisters. We're trying to renovate a school. We're not fixing a flat tire. We're not fixing a flat tire. We're not opening up a penny candy shop. We're not selling water ices, okay? We're not selling hot dogs. We're renovating a school. Do you understand? Do you understand? So please, brothers and sisters, give what you can. We're building an institution, okay? We're trying to give our children a chance that we didn't have. That's what we're doing. I don't have to pin it because I done already told you what it is. Don't be lazy. $ FDMG school. Don't be lazy. $ FDMG school. Before I continue with my message, thank you, Sister Avanti, $10 coming on the Cash App. Thank you, sister. Next time, make it 20, but thank you for that 10. I know you barely had that. Thank you, sister.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming.
Hold on. Yeah. Nah, I got this. I got this.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's 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 coming. Oh, it's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking. It's twerking.
Me derrière, wagwan, wagwan. Me Irie family. All right. Did I do a good job? How was that? I'm doing my best on that one. Okay. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to the chat room. It's a mess. Umar up here blaming this brother from Jamaica. That's the reason why. That's the reason why the certificate of occupancy is delayed. You guys are not going to believe this foolishness. Okay, bless up. Yeah, y'all mind. Said Umar ain't got no sense. He gonna blame this Jamaican man. He said, and this is Jamaican. I think it's a Jamaican versus DACA, whatever he said. What did he say to DACA? Okay. Anyway, we got a lot to get into. Shout out to everyone inside the Cook Court chat. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Excuse my shirt. I didn't have time to iron it today, but you know what? You don't know. You don't know. Okay, I can't remember. I can't read my handwriting. Never mind. Okay. But for sure, me Irie. Okay. Thank you guys again for tuning on in. Shout out to the Quick Crush Chat. There is a poll question. We're gonna get right on into this because we got a lot to cover, and I don't want to hold y'all too long. The lighting will fix itself once it gets a little bit darker, once the sun set. So if you guys can bear, if you can, yeah, you're right, Eastby. Yeah, I didn't want to say that one. That's what I be calling my dog that. I call my dog that. Yeah, you don't know? You do know. You do. Okay. All right. Bless up, Irie. Yeah, man. Okay. Me not do this. Yeah, bumper clock. That's the only one I know how to do. That sounds kind of like it up. Okay. What was I gonna say? Oh, there is a poll question. Make sure you get your vote in on the poll when you get some time. It's the standard question that we raise. Yeah, this is. I'm gonna adjust the lighting on this in just a moment. The poll question for everyone in Quick Question Chat. When will Umar Johnson open FDMG? 3% already say 2027. 3% said 2029. 7% said 2032, and 87% said sometime after 2050. Okay, I'm going sometime after 2050. Okay, my wife, she's cooking too, by the way. So if you guys could bear with that as well. She's making a special meal. She's making the patty. Is it the patty? What you know what I'm talking about? The I think they put potatoes in it or something. I don't know. Yeah, man. Something like that. I was gonna put on my my dreads. You guys know I have a dreads. The dreads I put on sometimes. I'm serious. I put that on for my wife sometimes when she wants something special. You feel me? Yeah, the beef patty. That's what it was. The beef patty. She liked to pull my dread. All right, I was gonna put it on, but I said, let me not do that. I said, I don't want to get in trouble on YouTube tonight. Okay, let's get focused. I'm tripping because I can't believe Umar did that. He threw this Jamaican brother under the bus so bad. It's sad. Okay, Bob Marley rolling on his grave. I shouldn't say that, brother Bob. That's brother. My wife says. Okay. What is that? It said Miss Honor say Rasclat. What is that? Let me go look that up. She said you don't want to look it up. It's a highly vulgar Jamaican patois. Oh my God. What in the world? Why would you guys be talking like that? Yeah, I'm demonetized already. That's okay. I'm already demonetized. That's okay. If that's what we got to do in order to protect this Jamaican brother, that's what we got to do. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm a rude boy for sure. Yeah, Irie. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's get on into this, shall we? Make sure you get your vote in on the poll. And our goal for likes is I don't plan on being that long. I know I said that yesterday, but we're gonna go for 500 likes during this live stream. So if at any point you're enjoying the show, go on and hit that like button. We already have 500 people up in here. If everyone hit it right now, you know, me Irie. Okay. There was a couple of super chats. Let me get to these real quick. CJ says tonight's game, take a drink every time Lenon takes a chat down because he deems it inappropriate. Looking at you, use a 225. I don't think he's here right now, so we might get away with it today, CJ. We're gonna have to wait and see. Thank you, sir, for the super chat. I appreciate it. TJ says, "Don't be lazy." Hashtag FDMG school coming in 2055. It's amazing that Umar would even say something like that to his donors. You know, don't be lazy. that he's the laziest person and so rude. He's a rude boy. You say coming in 2055 at this rate? Yeah, it's just going to be about 2055. Yeah, somewhere around here. Most of us we gonna be dead by then, but that's probably when it's gonna happen. Okay. Thanks, TJ. Umar should have been a comedian. I agree. He would have been a funny comedian. Yeah, he would have. I was watching this video today. You guys remember the video? It's from 2012. Umar, he says, some of them going to sleep for good. You could tell even there in certain parts in that video where he has comedic timing. So the problem is, though, a lot of what he says is so off the wall, you know, and then he would have had to really focus on that as a career in order to make that happen. It's very difficult to be a comedian. But yeah, he could have been. Yeah, I think it could have been a lot of different things. But, you know, Umar. Thanks, TJ. Lenon, a.k.a. Milli Vanilli. Girl, you know, it's true. That was a jam back in the day. They wasn't singing the song, but that was the jam. I remember that. It was a whole big thing about that. Milli Vanilli. Yep. Thanks, TJ. Eastby says you a wild boy. Okay. All right. Thanks, Eastby. Hope you're doing all right. Okay. Thanks, everyone, for the super chats. I want to get right on into it. It's an interview that Umar did today on, out of all places, Father David's podcast. And on Facebook, when I went on there were only 6 people on Facebook listening in. So, you know, it is what it is. Thanks again, Eastby. Okay, let's get to it, everyone. Okay. And today is Easter. Is it Easter? Yeah, it's Easter. Yeah. So if for those y'all celebrate Easter, happy Easter. Okay, let's get going here. So this is from today, hot off the press. All right, here we go.
Dr. Umar is on line 1. Did I mention to you today that Dr. Umar, yes, I did say, I said, this is Dr. Umar Johnson, edition of New Worldview. And Dr. Johnson is on the phone line with us right now. Good afternoon, Dr. Johnson. How you doing today?
Peace and Pan Africanism. All is well, Elder. How are you?
I am good and wonderful. I don't know if you heard any of my introduction when I first came on, but
how's it going, sweet
today
tea?
is my anniversary. I celebrate Easter Sunday as my anniversary. The 24 years long, it's still going strong. I know it's my
What's up, Saganito? Yeah, so this is his anniversary, 25 years for Father David. Congratulations on that.
Anniversary.
Anniversary.
Thank you. Hey, I'm pleased. You don't know how pleased I am to have
don't do
you
it
as
like
my
that,
very
you will.
special co-host
Okay.
today on my
What's up, Demo?
anniversary show. I was
What's up,
saying
Michael?
How, I don't know if you heard when I was talking about Franny Rizzo Jr. and how I got the show from him. Just not to repeat myself
congrats
totally,
to
but
Father
Franny
David.
Rizzo
That's an
had a show,
accomplishment.
and I said some things to him that
well,
he may have
normally
felt
he
some
has it, his what you call it in, but he for some reason he didn't have it in today. He probably could. He could probably. He don't even. He know how to repair them. He can make them from scratch. You give him a rock. You give him a rock and aluminum foil. By the day he get to rolling that rock, he'll create a car. He'll make a car. He's like, yeah, I'm making this new technology. Let me stop. All right. Anyway, congratulations to Father David. I shouldn't do that. I should not do that. It's funny though. I ain't gonna lie, that was funny. Okay, let's get back to it. You give him a rock and some jacks. You remember the jacks back in the day? You guys remember jacks back in the day? Kids don't know nothing about that. You give him some jacks and some marbles and a rock. Well, he can make a spacecraft. All right, let's get going. Here we go.
Away about it. He never came back. I talked about his father, Frank Rizzo, and he never came back. And Cody gave me the show, and it was on Easter Sunday. Well,
okay, just to be clear, I don't know what he's talking about.
He was on Mondays then, so it was on Easter Monday. But I always remember that that's when I celebrated my anniversary back in the Easter Sunday now, because I've been on Sunday. So I figured, my show's like a resurrection. We resurrecting Africa and Africanism.
You see, that's the kind of stuff, Father David, I try to be nice to you, but don't do that. You sound like Umar. You know, my show is from 25 years ago. It's like a resurrection. Oh, and it happens to be, okay, what's today? Come on, stop. Don't he sound like Umar hit the one? This guy, he sound like Umar. See, you tripping now. Father David, you tripping. Don't do that. Jerome, don't do that. Anyway, let's keep going. This is the Father David. He tripping right here.
And that's what we do here. It's back on the map right here with New Worldview. That's what we do. And I'm glad to have somebody like you, Dr. Umar Johnson, to be a part of this show. Because I'm telling you, like Mafia said, you one of my best earners. You know, even though we don't earn from you, but we earn.
Huh? What you talking about? You one of our best? What is Umar your hoe? What is going on here? Let me stop. I'm acting out. I shouldn't do that. You said you one of our top orders. Get on that track. Get on that track. Let me stop. Thanks, TJ. All right, let's keep going. I'm tripping. Here we go.
Your popularity, that's what we earn from you. So tell me what you're doing today, man. You know, I say so many things.
That's what he said. I said, what in the world? Umar out here hooking. Umar out here hooking for Father David. Hey, that's crazy. How's it going, Amira? Let's go.
On the internet that I wanted to talk to you about, but let's hear from you first before we get started. How you doing today? What you been up to?
Yeah, let's say Pimp Baba. That's crazy.
I'm doing well, and of course, you know, yesterday we remembered the anniversary of Dr. King's unfortunate execution, April the 4th, 1968. And, you know, funny because the day before yesterday, there was a basketball game on television. You probably saw it or heard about it with North Philadelphia's own Coach Dawn Staley of the South Carolina Lady Gamecocks. She had beat the UConn Huskies lady basketball team coached by Coach Ariema, and I believe he's also from Philadelphia. But anyhow, she beat him, and he's been to the Final Four 25 times.
Wow.
Gold standard.
Yeah, I know we got about 760 people already. I know it's getting tight in the Cookie Crush chat. Make sure y'all small up yourself.
In women's college hoops, and it's very clear to everyone that Dawn Staley is now eclipsing him. Of course, she doesn't have as many trophies as he has, but clearly she's the new face of women's basketball when it comes to coaching. And after he lost to her, he went up to
What's
her
up, Barn?
Mid-court. You know, they normally shake hands at the end of the game.
Mario.
And he basically gave her a mouthful about how he felt about how she didn't shake his hand at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
And we all know that was nonsense. That was a distraction. That's not why you yelled at her or tried to insult her at the end of the game. It's because you lost. And basically, you know, last year they played, and the referees robbed Coach Dawn Staley in the Lady Gamecocks. They flat out robbed them. They could not.
Yeah, but they lost today, though. What's going on? Yeah, well, I think he just didn't have his I don't know what that's called. I probably should find out. They're gonna be about another 5 years. I'll be right there, 10 years probably. But he just didn't have it in, because last time we had him, we were doing a video and he was playing with it in his mouth. He was going like real and moving it around. I said, Father David, you don't stop. Nobody want to see that. Anyway,
the whistle the whole game. It was clear that they was going to cheat him. They didn't do that this year. They let it be
ninjas or something.
And as a result of that, he lost, and he couldn't take it. A black man could not take. Excuse me.
Yeah, I don't think it was dentures per se, because I think it was more like, you know, for that one tooth, you know. But he puts it in, and it. I don't know. I can't. You guys know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
A white man could not take losing to a black woman, and everybody saw it. And it's one of the biggest.
What did I say?
On social media right now.
Wow.
What did I say that was inappropriate? Everybody said, what in the world? What did I say something inappropriate? I'm serious. I don't know what I said. Or maybe Umar said something. I don't know. All right, let's keep going.
Why do they hate us? So it's just like the tennis player. You saw where that black tennis player beat that white tennis player, and she started going off right after the game was over. Told her she was uneducated, all this and that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Well, I say she had enough education to beat her on that tennis court. I know that.
Yeah. It was sexism multiplied by racism. You know, white males, they don't like.
Is that what I said? I'm sorry, Ed. I didn't know I said that. I'm sorry. I did not mean. I did even realize. I did not realize it, Bati. All right, let's keep going. That's crazy. I apologize. I did not mean to mean it that way. Let's continue.
To lose the black man, let alone a black woman, especially when you're considered the greatest women's basketball coach of all time. But the other thing, Bob and David, and I'm sure you heard it, is about a week or two ago, President John Mahama, the president of Ghana, he was on tour here in the United States, and he made a stop at Temple University, brought him Montgomery at the Temple University Performing Arts Theater. And I had an opportunity to go and hear him speak. Of course, I had got my citizenship in Ghana last January of 2025, the day before his inauguration. So I was in Ghana when he was inaugurated, but it was too busy for me to actually get there and see him. But nonetheless, you know, we have to give him a lot of kudos and respect, because at the United Nations, I think the date might have been March 17th, you know.
What is Umar talking about?
He led the charge to force the United Nations to recognize the transatlantic slave trade and the ma'afa of our ancestors as the gravest crime against humanity, which a lot of people said we already know that. Why do we need it recorded officially within the registry of the United Nations? And that is because we can use that as a foundation upon which we can build.
Is it kind of low to you guys? I can run it through my Premiere Pro and raise the volume. Let me know. For me, it sounds low.
An argument for reparations. So it's amazing that 400 years later in the United Nations, you know, the world's governing body, allegedly, is just...
Oh, okay. So thank you, Kadar. Baba David told Umar that the Ghanaian president was going to be here, meaning in Philly. Umar talking like he was in the know. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I got you. Okay. Domo says that it's a little low. Perfect. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Well, I'll leave it because I can export it again. It's just for some reason for me, it sounds low. It might be I'm getting old though too. Anytime I watch Father David, you know, can't hear as good. Got to put my glasses on. Knees start hurting. Let me stop. CJ says at this point, Umar supporters are more enraging and annoying than Umar himself. That argument could be made at this point. It could be made because I like to be fair. Umar, there are times where he gets on my nerves, but I've been at this so long to where I can temper that. You know, and a lot of stuff he does, I can already tell like the direction that he's going in. So when he does it, it's like, okay, I didn't expect what he's going to do here though. Watch, you guys going to see him a little while later. He threw this Jamaican brother under the bus, and then he's trying to spin it like it's Jamaicans or foreigners against black people. He's supposed to be a Pan Africanist, which is supposed to be all inclusive. So Umar, I didn't anticipate that. So there are things that he does that he gets on my nerves. But then most of the time, I know Umar well enough and how he behaves, how he thinks, and all that stuff. But yeah, an argument could be made that his support base, that they're part of the problem too. And I'm not trying to absolve Umar of his responsibility, what he's doing, but truth be told, they've enabled him. At this point, they've enabled him. His donors, people who continue to donate to him, they've enabled him too. Okay, and people do what they want to with their money. But if you're going to send money to Umar, and he's a legitimate scammer, that's what he does. You're part of the problem because it enables Umar to continue to do what he's doing. Okay. Thanks, CJ. Fun one to know says, I am in an emergency room watching your channel. It's making me feel better. Oh, I hope you're okay. What, are you all right? Wow. I don't want to get into your business, but I hope everything is okay in the emergency room. Yeah, I hope everything. Well, I hope. Yeah, hopefully this show will make you feel better moving forward too. I hope everything works out just fine. Okay, I'm sure it will. Okay, thank you for the super chat. and take care. My goodness. Why didn't Umar share this on the Breakfast Club? That's a good question. That's a good question. Because the way that he frames it, and it's later on in this interview, but the way that he frames it, it's as if it's the same thing that he was saying about this. Remember last year, he was talking about how the city wouldn't communicate with him about past due bills. It's the same type of thing. You guys will see. I can't remember how he phrased that exactly last year, but it's the same thing. He's regurgitating it, but this time he throws his brother, and he specifically states that the brother is Jamaican. There's no need to say that. But he's setting it up. You know, remember last year he was setting up the story about his bank accounts getting frozen? He set that up way in advance when he did the fish tank video. He said, I'll hack his bank account. Okay, he set that up way in advance. Well, he's setting this up now. But the way he tells the story, this could have been brought up when he was on the Breakfast Club, but he didn't bring it up when he was on the Breakfast Club. Okay, so this is a good question. Yep. Thanks, Kadar. TJ says, not Baba David again and Umar. Amen. Yeah, I got that one right. Thank you so much. Thanks, TJ. Thank you, Kadar. Does he mean he's been clean 25? No, that's not what he said. He's been on that radio show or doing that radio show for 25 years. That's an accomplishment. That's a long time for Father David. So we congratulate. I know we clown him and stuff, but we congratulate him for that because that's an accomplishment. It's amazing that if you've been on that platform for 25 years, you would think that you would have some sense not to keep platforming Umar at this point, because Umar is a known scammer and a liar. So it goes to show you that 25 years in, there's a lack of integrity on Father David's part. It's still an accomplishment, but my goodness. Thanks, guys, Noel. You had Brother Jose. Get ready for Brother Jamal. Okay, all right, brother. What's up, you 225? Okay, I think I'm all caught up inside of the for the super chats. Pan fakeness, yeah, it is for you guys to see. It's like you can tell Umar he's a hypocrite because he talks about Pan Africanism, but he's so divisive, and now he's trying to set up this narrative that it's these. The way he's saying it is like these foreigners, these black foreigners, these Jamaicans, these immigrants, Jamaican immigrants, you know, against black people here in the United States of America. That's how he frames it. You guys will see. It's crazy. Thanks, Ellis. Okay, let's keep going. Here we go.
Now admitting that our slavery was the greatest crime against humanity. But check this out, Baba David. The United States, Israel, and Argentina voted against it. They were the only three nations in the entire world who voted against the enslavement of African people being considered the gravest crime against humanity. And that is because they understand that with the passing of that resolution, and it did pass, that helps pave the pathway towards reparations. And I'm only saying that to say that if I catch any black person celebrating the 4th of July after what Donald Trump has done, you just spoke about that.
Here he goes. He does this for every single holiday.
How he tried to dismantle that.
I mean, is there one holiday that Umar actually said, you know, he's not against, and he doesn't, that he would allow, again, he wants to allow black, because he's a megalomaniac. He thinks megalomaniac. He thinks he control the black people. Is there one holiday out there that Umar says, yeah, you guys can celebrate it. You can celebrate. I don't know. I don't think so.
History down there at 6th and Market, but of course, the mayor of Philadelphia, they went to court and forced the National Park Service to put that history back up about the enslaved Africans who served.
Was that you? That was you that said that yesterday. That was ingenious. So Umar throwing stones in his glass closet. Yeah. That was the ingenious yesterday. I was cracking up. Let's go. Thanks,
George Washington. But if you look at what Trump's done, and if you look at the United States voting against this measure,
no,
I don't want to see any black person celebrating America's 250th birthday on July 4th.
That is so true. The 4th of July. We talked a little bit about it last week because we had also planned to go see the president of Ghana while he was here in Philadelphia. He was here on Thursday and Friday. On Thursday, as you mentioned.
Yeah, maybe that's one that he approves as Juneteenth. Yeah, maybe.
At Temple University, and I had heard that you had been spotted in the place, and I was wondering. I said, did you get a chance to talk to the president, speak to the president? Because I had heard that somebody took pictures of you down there. I said, well, that's good. I'm glad that he was there.
Yeah, I haven't seen any pictures of Umar with the president. There may be from that event. There may be, but I haven't seen him.
able to make that event. And then the president was also here on Friday at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel across the street from City Hall. And I was able to make it to that luncheon. And
Umar, he don't want black people to celebrate 4th of July because he wants black people's firework money. Okay, all right.
One of the reasons why I wanted to make it to that luncheon is because I also wanted to catch up with Michael Blackson, the comedian from Africa, because I had some things that I wanted to talk to him about in the upcoming summer season in June. The Africatown, I'm sure you're familiar with Africatown in Southwest Philadelphia. They're having a Africatown festival where they're going to have Woodland Avenue closed off, have a big concert in the Woodland Mall around 61st and Woodland. They're going to have a stage at 58th and Woodland. They're going to have another stage at 66th and Woodland. And the main stage, June 28th.
Okay.
And we're going to be representing the African diaspora here in Philadelphia.
Umar and Mama Claus are writing that down.
For the celebration of 250 years. And they're going to have, a lot. They say they already have Shaggy locked down there pursuing getting Fantasia to be a headliner. And
okay, Fantasia and Shaggy. Yeah, from Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
So I was thinking that maybe we ought to get like yourself, and I'm hoping because our New World View radio program will be broadcasting live from that location on that day, the 28th.
Yeah, but isn't Shaggy? Isn't he a dance hall? Yeah. Yeah, he's Jamaican. It's amazing he brought that guy up, and Umar gonna throw Jamaicans under the bus in a minute. All right.
This is on a Sunday, and we're going to be broadcasting New World View on location at the festival. And I was hoping that maybe you could come by and shout out to our listeners.
He's Jamaican
on WURD that day. Make your presence known.
That's the Sunday, Bubba.
Yes.
I should be there. I don't see a reason why I wouldn't be there. And I ain't been to Southwest Philly in a minute.
Wow.
I'm going to be doing North Philly, West Philly, a little bit of South Philly, and then Uptown, down area in Germantown. I ain't been to Southwest in a minute. But I need to get on up there because there's some things I need to get, some African things I need to get that I'm only going to be able to get out there. So.
Right. And so I was hoping that maybe somebody like yourself would really help draw people into the festival.
See, Father David, he using Umar like a hoe. Yes. He said, we're going to bring you out, but hopefully we get some people to come bring you out on so more people to come. And make sure you wear your, I'm going to take you out to eat first. He said, Dumbo. You the top earner. You the top earners. I'm going to take you out to eat first, the sweetie poo. After that, I'm going to go get you some flowers, and then we're going to take you so we can get you to bring some more people out. Listen, that's why he wearing that hat. It ain't for Philly, it's for pimp. That's what it is, family. All right, let's go.
And Michael Blackson, as I mentioned as well, he is
I'm gonna get you some flowers. I'm gonna get you some perfume. I'm gonna get you some perfume. Yeah, we go. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna take you shopping. You get some good things. You can pick up some nice things. After that, we'll get you some ice cream. Oh, wow. All right. Here we go.
Iconic figure out of Africa. I used to say that before Burna Boy is the African giant right now globally, but before Burna Boy came around, Michael Blackson was iconic for being an African.
I don't know what Father David's talking about.
Most notable African at this time. Of course, we have some great people out of Africa. And so that's what's going on for June the 28th. But I also wanted to ask you, and because I noticed you sometimes sit in with Nick Cannon, and I was wondering, what's this thing he's talking about Democrats being the KKK?
I hadn't spoken to the brother Nick Cannon since that situation transpired. If I take a step back from the whole situation and look at some of these black celebrities who are still publicly supporting or at least suggesting.
Yeah, see, he doesn't want to say anything negative or derogatory about Nick Cannon because he wants to stay in his good graces.
Suggesting that they still publicly support Donald Trump.
Burna Boy? Okay, Burna Boy is an artist. Okay.
Anything else. As you know, we live in a culture that is completely dominated by shock value.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my wife said that that's one of her favorites. I don't know why. He looked like Richard Sherman. Hairline looking like mine. He can't sing. Let me stop. It says he's a Nigerian singer. Okay. His name is Burna Boy. Okay, let's keep going. I always do that whenever my wife says stuff like, you know, the Michael B. Jordan and all that. And yeah, he's a loser. Let's go.
You don't get attention. So I think a lot of this is simply about shock value. Now, with that being said, though, there is a little bit of truth to what he said. I mean, the Democratic Party did oppose the end of slavery. The Republican Party also opposed the end of slavery. The only difference was the Republican Party tried to...
Yeah, the most requested black scholar didn't get a call for that event in his own city. Yeah. I mean, Umar pretends to be like this great he calls himself the Prince of Pan Africanism, and he started doing that in 2012. The next segment of the documentary, you guys will see, he was giving himself some crazy titles. I mean, way off the wall. And it's coming off the success of Hidden Colors, and then he starts blowing up in the black conscious space via Saad Netter, via Tariq Nasheed, and then he starts giving himself these self-appointed titles. The self-aggrandizement, it's the narcissism. But back then, he was calling himself the Prince first. Then at a certain point, he starts to call himself the Prince of Pan Africanism. So if you're the Prince of Pan Africanism, you got this big time event in Philadelphia where we have dignitaries. They have dignitaries coming. Like I live there. You have dignitaries coming through. Wouldn't you think Umar, as the most requested black scholar and the Prince of Pan Africanism, wouldn't he have gotten a phone call to be up there on stage or to do something, you know, that's part of it? No, he was like in the 4th, 5th, 6th row, clout chasing. But that's Umar. Yeah. Thanks, Jason. And you guys see this next segment of the documentary. I'm like 2 hours into this next segment. Well, I should have stopped at like the 45-minute mark and just broke it up. And but once I get going, I'm almost at the end of 2012. I'm like December 29th. So I'm getting close to finishing that. I got to record the voiceover and then start editing that in, and then I'll have that ready for you members. I was supposed to have that ready 3 weeks ago. Anyway, I'm doing my best, working day by day. Thanks again, Jason. Miss Honey says, what happened with Umar and Nick Cannon? Well, no, nothing's happened with them. What I was talking about was Father David. He brings up Nick Cannon because Nick Cannon, he had some comments that he made. I think it was Nick Cannon. He was driving in a car with I don't know what this lady's name is. Amber Rose. I think it was Amber Rose. Let me make sure. Yeah, that's her. So, and they were having this conversation. They were talking about politics or whatever. And I don't even know what the comments that she made, but it was something to where it kind of went viral. And so that's why Father David is asking Umar about that, because he knows that Umar is associated with Nick Cannon. He's been on Nick Cannon's podcast a couple of times. But the thing is, Umar doesn't want to say anything directly derogatory or negative about Nick Cannon because he wants to stay in Nick Cannon's good graces. So that's what that's all about. Yeah. Thanks, Ms. Honey, for the super chat. I hope I didn't miss anybody out. I was goofing off early, and I wasn't even watching the chat room like I should have been. But I'll go back through this and make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay, let's keep going here. Here we go.
Stop the growth of it. They didn't want it going into the new territories, but they were trying to end it.
Amber Rose.
Party.
Yeah, I don't even know what she does. Does she sing or something? She's like a Kim Kardashian type. Oh, okay. She's a American model, actress, and television personality. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. Here we go.
Wanted to end slavery. The Republicans wanted to control it.
I can't. Lewis Suck says, I can't wait for Drewski to do an Umar skit. Oh, don't do that shit. Don't do that, Lewis. Oh my God. Y'all be clowning me. Lewis, like, you be going too far. You do too much. That's what my brother be telling me. He said, you doing too much. So one time he took a picture. He was at some sporting event, and he had on these glasses on. And I got this Will Smith picture from one of the Will Smith movies where he had these glasses on, and he was a superhero. So I took a screenshot of it and sent it back to my brother because I thought it looked like that picture. My brother, he was like, "Man, you playing? Quit playing." He said, "So Lewis says, I can't wait for Drewski to do an Umar skit. He can get Boyce Watkins to play me." That ain't funny. That ain't funny at all. All right. Okay, I'm actually insulted. I have to say, I'm insulted by that, Lewis Luck. Okay, Drewski could have me. I'll do it. One of my daughters, have you Drewski this? Drewski, I said, because she's the first. That's the first time I heard of Drewski. Was my daughter was talking about it. I said, who's Drewski? I said, some Russian or some shit. I said, what in the world? And no, he's funny. He's so funny. I said, all right. And then it was months later, Umar was on his show. That's how I learned what he looked like and stuff. But the young people, they know a lot about him. Okay. YouTube says Baba David 123 was roommates with Uncle Nancy. 123. You know, it'd be crazy. What if Baba David was Uncle Nancy? Now that would be a twist. That would be a twist in the Umar Johnson saga. Okay. Thanks, YouTube. TJ says, stop taking political advice from celebrities. Yeah. Actually, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, TJ. Yeah, that movie was called Hancock. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going, everybody. Here we go.
And the Democrats did not. However, we got to recognize that what those parties were then is not what those parties are now.
Right.
And so the Republican Party, which at one time, my ancestor, the great and honorable Frederick Douglass, he was the big supporter.
There you go. He always got to throw that in. My ancestor, Frederick Augustus Bailey, Harvard Grant, Proto, whatever. He always got to do. Umar, stop. Why? I don't get it. Why did he have to keep doing that? His daddy already came out. He took a DNA test, and it came out that they have no genetic relationship to the Bailey line, Frederick Douglass line. He even posted. He did a video, then he took the video down. I don't have a copy of it, which I did. But he did a post too. I thought it was like in 2019, but the last time we looked at it, it was earlier than that. 2018, something like that. Yeah, but Umar, he has to throw that in there. Such a liar. And unnecessary, too. What's the big deal? Let me see if I can find this right quick. My ancestor, Frederick Augustus Bailey. Cut it out. Yeah, here we go right here. I even have the, no, that's not it. I wonder how Jamal's doing. He got off the social media after Umar's daughter exposed everything. Yeah, it's not appearing on here for some reason. Yeah, I'm in the proper folder, but maybe I have. Okay, I'll let this play and I'll find it. I'm just so tired of him lying like this. It's so unnecessary too. What's the big deal? Let me check one other folder. Okay, no, that's not it either. All right, let me just scroll down here one more time. No, this is the same folder. Yeah, I don't know where it's in. I have it, but it's just not popping up. Oh, here's a picture of I wonder what graduation this is, though. Let me see. Yeah, so he it just says 4 hours. Oh, this is from 2018. So this is probably when Umar, I don't know. My son, Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Umar Ifatunde, Dr. Jermaine Shoemake, Prince of Pan Africanism, King Kong consciousness, and despite our differences on how we combat he's such a clout chaser, how we combat white supremacy, I do believe those of different ideologies and generations are needed. I do hope that in 2019, a union can be had with those that think like him and those of us who don't wholly agree. To truly affect our communities, resulting in police and each other from stop killing us. Yeah, he has to put that in there. The community needs solidarity, not division. Yeah, this is him taking a shot at Umar. But this post is from December 4th, 2018. But this picture, this is probably Umar when he was in graduate school, though. Yeah, this is probably Umar when he was in graduate school. Okay. Yeah, I'll find that receipt, though. I have it.
Republican Party back then, because he saw that they were trying to stop the spread of slavery. You know, as you know, Abraham Lincoln, I believe, was a Republican president. Mm-hmm. Okay, but he didn't like black people, and he was forced into the Civil War, and he was even forced into allowing blacks into the Civil War, and we were only allowed into the Civil War because they were losing. Mm-hmm. It was desperation time, and that's why he issued the Emancipation Proclamation. And what a lot of black people don't know is while we were fighting Abraham Lincoln's Civil War, he was negotiating with foreign countries to try to see if he could ship all of the black people out of this country after emancipation. That was Abraham Lincoln's goal. He wanted us out. Wow. So as soon as slavery was over, we was all going to be deported out. This is well documented. In fact, he met with a group of black pastors at the White House during the Civil War where he...
Oh, here you go, right here. So again, Umar, he's known about this for a very long time. Okay, this goes back to 2019. December, at the end of 2019, December 28, 2019, Jamal Johnson, please read, you know, this social media can be a curse and a blessing. Recently, I obtained and posted my DNA results here, and I do encourage others to take the test. Just don't think you'll know what the results will be. Just based on the test alone, it appears that I am not related to the late, great Frederick Douglass, as I've been led to believe all my life and have taught to my children. Additionally, it opens up the door to so many other questions related to my family lineage. I'm hoping that the results are in error, but it doesn't appear to be so. As a result, I at least accept them as valid and as such acknowledge that according to the results, I and my children, that includes Umar Johnson, are not related to Frederick Douglass lineage. How could this have happened? I have no idea. I only know that I will continue to ascertain this, and if it should be in fault, make that known also. Needless to say, this shakes me to my core, but it is what it is. I have shared this info with some of my family and will continue to contact others. I am announcing it publicly because I think it's only right to do so. It may mean a lot to some and nothing to others, but it is the truth according to Ancestry.com DNA results. Okay, DNA doesn't lie. The other thing too is he did a video, but he took the video down and he explained this and admitted that they're not related to Frederick Douglass. But Umar, he still runs with the lie to this day. We're in 2026. That's from the end of 2019. What's up, Southwesternism? Let's go.
Them to sign on to his forced immigration policy that was going to be implemented right after the end of.
U225 says Genghis Khan is my answer. My ancestor Mace Windu went to his lead. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm pretty. Yeah, you're probably related to Genghis Khan. It's highly likely. Okay. Thanks. Uses 225. Shout out to all the Trekkies and Star Trekkies and Star Warriors. Here we go.
The Civil War. So again, you know, back then I could see why some black people supported the Republican Party because they did try to stop the spread of slavery, but neither party was really for black people. Neither party was. And, you know, there is some truth.
Excuse me. Yeah, I agree, lady. It is embarrassing. Umar Johnson needs to leave that family alone and take Frederick Douglass' name off of the so-called school as well. I agree. The family also, excuse me, the family, they also issued a public statement on this issue too. Let me see. Yeah, I don't. Oh, here it is. Yeah, because I wasn't sure how I archived it, but here it is right here. Yeah, it's a shame. So this is 2016. Excuse me. Public statement on Umar Johnson, April 18th. Let me get myself off of here. 2016, to whom it may concern, the family of Frederick Douglass has received numerous inquiries about Umar Johnson, questioning his relationship to Frederick Douglass. There have also been questions about the legitimacy of his PhD and handling of the donations he's received for a school he is promoting. He does have a side D. We can tell you with 100% certainty that he is not a descendant of Frederick Douglass. With that being said, Mr. Johnson is very careful not to bill himself as a descendant, but he doesn't correct people when they refer to him in this way. He calls himself a blood relative, which is a nebulous reference designed to make people think he is a descendant. Yeah, it's true. We have researched his explanation of being a blood relative to the great abolitionist. Some of the information he provides is accurate, but an extremely important piece of this explanation with regards to the documented relative of Frederick Douglass is false. Okay, and I believe that what they're referring to is what Umar refers to as cousin Steve or Stephen. The information he recites correctly is from the public record, so his knowledge of our family ancestry is far from definitive proof. The official Douglass family tree is held in the archives of Frederick Douglass National Historic Site in Washington, D.C. Mr. Johnson's name is not on it. There you go. That's from the family, directly from the family. They have an initiative, they have a website and everything. All right, here we go.
The Democratic Party was more aggressively against black people, but both parties were. Neither were our friends. Neither party was our friend then.
Patriot said Lenon might be one of Commander Worf's ancestors. I'm not going to say why. All right. Hey, I'm not going to argue. I can't argue on that one. Okay. Yeah, I see your point. That's every time I look in the mirror. All right. Okay.
And neither party.
That's right. Friends. We still don't have no friends today. We got to take a break, and when we come back, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the deportation of blacks from America.
Yeah, I think that's what they're talking about. Is Civil War,
Steve. And even now, it seems like they may be building up to that type of scenario coming to a city near you soon. But we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after this brief break. One of the things that we were talking about before we went on a break was Abraham Lincoln trying to get other countries to accept Africans that they wanted to deport. And I'm saying it's very similar to what they're doing today, trying to find other countries to accept deportees from America. They say they're immigrants, but
Afro Punk said Lenon does look a Fort Klingon.
Say to myself, there's no way in the world they are buying up all these warehouses and building all these prisons just for immigrants. I think that once they, because it ain't that many here, if you only got maybe 1 million immigrants here and they want to detain,
I don't even know what he's talking about,
500,000, then what they gonna do with all those other beds and cells and prisons? I think they're using this as a test run so they can just start detaining black people because they have a right to go into your home without a warrant. You know, you're not allowed due process. Do you think that they may be building those prisons for black people, Dr. Johnson?
Of course they are, because prisons are slave ships that sit on water. So they're definitely.
He said prisons are slave ships that sit on water. What you talk about, Alcatraz? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's a bunch of madness. I don't know. Umar Johnson is president of the idiot. All right. He said they sit on that. Maybe he meant sit on the land, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Umar was like, yeah, that's what happened. Okay. Let me get off this chat room. Yeah, he was, and Umar was distracted. He was. All right, let's keep going. Here we go.
Those prisons for us. But the other thing I wanted to say regarding the whole immigration crisis, Bob and David, is that I believe that
I think he is. Let me find out.
Is intentionally deceiving the American African people into believing that this immigration war is really against the Latinos and South American migrants. But when I hear from black immigrants, African and Caribbean African immigrants here in the country, I'm being told, that their parents who've been here like all their life, but never ended up getting any paperwork, that they're being deported out the country, that they're being...
Yeah, it says he graduated from Temple University. I'm trying to see if I can find out, was he born in Philly?
Held, by ICE. And when you look on the news, you don't see a lot of what they're doing to get rid of continental African and Caribbean African immigrants. They're making you think that the focus is almost exclusively on Latino immigrants, and that's not the case. I believe that this notion that Trump is targeting Latino immigrants, undocumented Latino immigrants, I think that is a cover for the government who's really going after black immigrants and trying to get as many of them out of the country.
Yeah, they just making stuff up. We got over 1,100 people in the building. If you're enjoying the show, hit that like button. Our goal is 500. Well, I said 400. We should be able to get to 500, okay? Make sure you hit that like button if you're enjoying the show.
Possible, which is a shame because they're already the lowest percentage of immigrants in this country are African. You have at least twice as many Chinese in this country. You have more than twice as many Latino immigrants in this country. So African immigrants are the smallest population of the entire immigrant sector. And yet, and still, Donald Trump is pursuing them very aggressively, but they're not putting it on television.
And plus, if you're not allowed due process, they could snatch you up off the street, and they won't even know, your family won't even know what happened to you, because you're not allowed to call people.
Yes, if you're not a citizen, their argument is you don't have, due process protection. 14th Amendment is for citizens, but this birthright citizenship thing that's currently being debated by the Supreme Court. I want to see how they rule on this, because the birthright citizenship, which I believe came as part of the 14th Amendment, many would argue that was to protect African Americans, the freedmen who were recently released from bondage, to guarantee that they would be given the rights of an American citizen, being as though that they were born on American soil. That is our ancestors who built this country. And so many are arguing that, hey, that was for black people. That was for the enslaved at the time. That was for the freedmen to make sure that their children would indeed be given their American citizenship. It was never intended to be used by immigrants. And it's going to be really interesting to see how the Supreme Court rules on this, Bobby David, for two reasons. Number one, with Donald Trump's white supremacist agenda and the conservatism of the Supreme Court, I could see them
I don't know what they're talking about. I'm gonna keep letting it play.
Striking down birthright citizenship for immigrants. Okay, I could see that. On the other hand, I can't see it from a global agenda, from a new world order agenda. I don't think it works well for the globalist agenda, because remember
well, they're getting into conspiracy stuff.
Globalists, they don't care about national sovereignty. They want complete integration of everything globally. They want one school system, one judicial system, one military system, because it makes it easier to control the world. So for Trump agenda, I could see the Supreme Court saying, yes, we're striking it down. There's no longer birthright citizenship in America. But for the globalists, that could be one of the worst things that happens. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Supreme Court leans towards the globalist agenda, which is to keep birthright citizenship alive, or will they lean towards the nationalist agenda of Donald Trump? But remember, the globalist agenda, it is not a nationalist agenda. They do not want national sovereignty, because national sovereignty is a barrier to the one world order.
And if they do that, would that make Donald Trump children illegal immigrants? They would not have a birthright citizenship?
He said the NWO is sabotaging FDMG. That's crazy.
He's a citizen.
That is crazy.
He's the grandson of an immigrant, a German immigrant, a racist German immigrant at that. But because the children would have a father, who is an American citizen, I would assume that they would extend citizenship to anyone who has at least.
Listen, they not talking about nothing, y'all. They not.
One parent who's an American.
Oh, at least one parent.
Maybe they want to challenge that. But yeah, I'm assuming if you got one parent who's a citizen, I'm not aware of any country in the world that would deny you the right to that same citizenship.
Okay, so if you were born, if you're an American citizen and you marry an immigrant, then your child still has birthright citizenship.
I believe that's up for debate as well. I saw some conversation. I don't know if this
Umar, he don't even know what he's talking about.
Birthright citizenship case includes cases that involve people who marry in, but I did see some conversation that they want to strike that down as well, because they said too many people are paying Americans to get married on paper so they can become citizens.
Green
so
cards.
It looks like, I don't think that's going to get struck down, but I do think they're going to put some more barriers in place that make it more difficult for someone to simply pay someone to marry them on paper for their citizenship. That's going to get a whole lot harder to do, I would assume, after the Supreme Court ruling.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting.
I wanted to go back to the president of Ghana, John Mahama, went to the UN to talk about reparations. And like you said, 3 countries voted no, and they had a lot of other ones that abstained from voting altogether.
Yeah, all of the European Union countries abstained from the vote. And, of course, for the same reason, America and Israel voted it down. And that's because they know it paves the way to a legal fight for reparations. But the sad thing about it, and we're not surprised because we know how European culture and consciousness operates, but the sad thing about it, it shows that these countries who've benefited the most from the enslavement of African people won't even recognize the damage that they did as a result of the enslavement of our ancestors. That's what makes it so, unapologetically disrespectful. Not only are you, Europe wouldn't be where she is if it wasn't for the enslavement of Africans. France wouldn't be where she is. Amsterdam, London, America. And you mean to tell me 407 years later, you won't even admit that it was wrong?
Because they have to. They would have to acknowledge the lie. And the Americans both want to lie. Right. They ain't about to confess.
It. Absolutely.
You guys remember them old minute phones? I remember those. Because back in the day, it wasn't a smartphone for you younger people. It was a cell phone. They called it a cell phone. And you would only get a certain amount of minutes that you could use per month. You guys remember that? I forgot about that. Yep, and the battery would go out real quick. That battery might last for about 2 hours. That was the good old days. Okay.
And to acknowledge it,
yeah, Maddie remember.
Legal framework, where you're now culpable to repair it. If you're going to acknowledge you caused this problem, you're now legally culpable to do something about it. It's just like if I hit you with my car, if I acknowledge I hit you, that automatically creates a legal framework. And now I can be held accountable for whatever damage I caused. So they want to just ignore what they did, something that is completely...
Umar, don't be running to nobody. Them
unignorable.
Yeah, it was 3 minutes after 8 or 9 p.m. It depends. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I sure do. I remember that.
But they want to completely ignore it. But
you couldn't text either. It wasn't no texting. No texts, as Umar said.
Question would be to Africans around the world.
Yep.
American Africans, British Africans, French Africans.
People are like, what? So what are you guys talking about? Yep.
To these
that came later though. That actually came later because I remember the first cell phone I had. It was you couldn't text nobody. You couldn't get on the internet or nothing. Yeah.
Pledge allegiance to the United States. How do you pledge allegiance to France and the UK? How?
Yeah, I think it was a Nokia. The first one I had was a Nokia, I think.
How can you do that knowing that not only they enslaved you, and they say that's in the past, but let's talk about the day. You won't even recognize that what
you had a beeper? Yeah, I never owned one. My sister had one, and I used to use it, ask her to use it, and just to, floss, Yeah. Yeah. We called them pagers.
Was so egregious. You won't even recognize the impact that the assault had on my race. So forget about the past. We're talking about the present.
Oh, you had a beeper with Sprint. Okay.
That what was done was not wrong. That's what they're doing about.
I know.
Yeah. Basically saying it was not wrong.
Oh, you still have yours?
It wasn't wrong then.
That's cool.
It can't be wrong.
I got to get me one off of eBay.
Israel,
just because.
Here's the thing with Israel, Bob.
Ain't nobody listening to Umar at all. Lewis X says part of what makes Umar effective is he mixes lies in with truth. Yeah, that's what he does. So people are less inclined to fact check him. Also, by him creating enemies, his followers will feel the need to defend him. Yeah, he said that too, and he said this in the past too. But he tries to mobilize his followers to attack his critics. And the last time he was on Big Loon's podcast, he said something to that effect. Exactly what you're saying here. Right. He doesn't say it outright, but he says something to the effect of meaning his critics, they should have cut their heads off, but he says not literally, okay, but still, right? And then he says, you know, I'm more angry with my supporters than my critics because my supporters should have cut their heads off, not literally, meaning figuratively, so that to stop them from doing what they're doing, something to that effect. So what it is it's Umar's way of, in a coded way, in trying to inspire or encourage his followers to attack his critics, and he's been doing that for a long time. He's been doing that for a very long time. And yeah, he does have followers who have done all types of crazy stuff over the years. And it goes to show you that's the cult dynamic, because he tries to mobilize his followers or his supporters against his critics. Yeah. Thanks, Louis. And yeah, Umar, he does that. He tells a lot of lies, but he'll throw some truth in there, and that's the hook. He catches people with that. I'll even propose that when he talks about topics like psychotropic drugs, when he talks about over diagnosing of children, Black children, there's some truth to that. But what he does is he'll throw that out there to hook people, but then it's just a bunch of lies. You know, he throws so many lies in there. People got to be careful about that because it's dangerous. Thanks for a second. Giannis says he shouldn't celebrate Father's Day. Yeah, I don't think Umar does. I mean, he's an absentee father. Okay, he has been it's been close to 15 years now. It's been about 16 years altogether. Yep. And even when he was present, he was causing problems, and he wasn't. It's not like the children lived with him. Yeah, I'm covering some of that in the next segment of the documentary too. Yeah. Thank you, Giannis. Hope you're doing all right. Yet Umar Johnson himself disses Black immigrants constantly. Yeah, well, he does that. The thing is, though, is that his lineage, he has lineage that's from Cuba. So, and his great grandfather, I think it's his great great grandfather, Cicero. I have the paperwork, classified himself as white Cuban. So it's interesting how Umar, he picks and chooses. I have one time he said that his great great grandfather was an Afro Cuban. No, he wasn't. Not the paper. I'm not going to show it to you guys. I may put it in a documentary, but Umar, he doesn't want to admit that. It's not that big of a deal, but that's Umar. Okay, thanks, user 225. Okay, let's get back to it.
But David, when you talk about the Zionists and the Jews, not to say that every Jew in the world, agreed with Israel voting against the measure, but y'all go around the world forcing everyone to feel apologetic for what happened to you in Germany. And I can respect that. But how can you expect African people to feel some sort of compassion for what you suffered in Germany when your ruling country, your international homeland, Israel, your illegal international homeland, is refusing to acknowledge what y'all did to us? Because let's be clear, Jews played a major role in the slave trade. Mm-hmm. They financed the slave boys.
Insurance.
They insured them. They built most of the banks where the money was kept. So y'all played a big role in what happened to us. So you telling me I gotta feel sorry for what you went through for 6 years under the hand of Adolf Hitler for 6 years, but you won't even acknowledge that what y'all did to us for over 400 years. Look at the.
It's all of it's atrocious though. Anyway.
Double standard. I gotta feel sorry for you. Mm-hmm. You can admit that what you did to me was wrong. Get out of here.
Yeah, they say
I don't cry tears for nobody but African people.
They say never forget, but they don't want to remember us. And you know what? One of the challenges that they say they have is that if they were to give reparations, they would say, "Well, we don't know who's entitled to it. Who are we going to say nonsense. I know who's legitimate African descendant."
That's complete nonsense. That can be proven. That could be proven with a DNA test because your African blood is going to come up.
Yeah, well, just like it's been proven through a DNA test that you're not related to Frederick Douglass, Umar. Anyway.
So if you was born in America and you're not an immigrant and you got African blood in your veins, how did you get here? So I don't even see how that argument gets made. But I will say this, though. I will say this. There is conversation, Baba David, that if black men in particular, black women too, but black men in particular, if we continue to reproduce with white women primarily, but any woman outside of our race, but it's mostly white, if we continue to do that in the next 25 years, Baba David, the majority of so-called African Americans will be mixed race blacks.
We're all mixed race if you have a lineage that goes back to slavery. And 99% of the cases, 99.5% of the cases. So what are you talking about?
Who do not identify as African American. I want to say this again.
I'm telling you, Umar, you don't look African. There's a reason why, homeboy. And Africans look all kinds of different types of ways, but I can tell the difference. But real quick, y'all notice that? For instance, if I see a group of black people here in the United States of America, and they may all look different, but I can already tell that they're black. But however, like, for instance, I can tell, like, for instance, Japanese look different than people from China. But then if you get more specific, like in China, and you show me different pictures of different people in China, I may think that some of these people aren't Chinese. They may be from someplace else. So it gets more and more complex. The point that I'm making is that, Umar, you don't look African. You ain't African. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sorry, homeboy. If you go over to Africa, you pick whatever country you want to, go over there, and I want to see someone over there that look like you, Umar. It's not going to happen. If I went over there, ain't going to be nobody look like me over there. One of the fascinating things, too, is like, let's say people in China, they can look at other Chinese people and they'll be able to tell, like, oh, they're from over here, they're from this region, they're from this region. I can't tell all that difference, but they can tell because they're used to seeing that. So the same thing with black people. I can tell, Umar, you're not African, and that's okay. You can go get your citizenship if you want to, but it doesn't change. This doesn't change just the truth. Anyway. Okay, let's keep going. Here we go.
If we keep on reproducing with women outside of our...
He's part Cuban, and that's perfectly fine.
Our community in this country, in 25 years, most black people will be...
Yeah, most of us are. Most of us are. Okay?
Race black people, and they will not identify as black, which is to say the whole argument about reparations. If we don't stop this interracial dating, this jungle fever, this snow bunny hopping, if we don't stop it, Baba David, there will be no black people to receive reparations.
And that's why that was my question. I said, because as you mentioned, we keep integrating. Then what's to say these mixed?
I'm not Chinese. Cut it out. You got me tripping. I am part Cape Verdean though, but he's a natural beauty says Lenon's Cape Verdean and Chinese. I do like rice though. I ain't gonna lie about that. Anyway, all right. Munya says Umar got a bare minimum of $2 million in donation reparations. Yet nobody knows what happened to the money. Yeah, Umar already got his reparations. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna start skipping through because they ain't talking about nothing. Okay, yeah, Umar already got his reparations. That's that FDMG funds. All right, thanks, Munya. Now I'm not Scottish. I have like, I don't know what it was, 2% Scottish or something like that. It was very small. Said Lenon do look a little Asian. Okay, all right, all right. Okay, I'm gonna skip through some of this because they're not talking. Most of the stuff I don't want to hear any of it. Use 55 cents. If you want to be Chinese, you have my blessing. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Konnichiwa. Okay, let's keep going. No, I ain't from Crenshaw Mobile. Because ain't that the Crips? I thought that was the Crips. Okay, let's keep going. Here we go.
Race children will be entitled. You know, if you got a
that was Japanese? Okay. All right.
Because remember, they're going to be raised with the European
consciousness.
And if they're Blasian, they're going to be raised with an Asian consciousness. And if
here you go. I'm Blaze. I'm at least part Blaze. I'm a little tether, a little bit. That's fine.
If they're Black African, they're going to be raised with.
It don't matter to me because I'm sexing with mine. Okay. Katikman disagrees. Says, I got to disagree with you, Lenon. I'm Liberian myself and have seen plenty of Americans who have a strong African phenotype. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that there aren't African Americans who have strong African phenotypes. What I'm saying is that the vast majority of African Americans are mixed. So if they do a DNA test, it's not going to come back that 100% of their genetic material comes out of Africa. That's not going to happen. That's the point I'm making. But I hear you. Thank you for that. Let's go.
The Latino consciousness, and so for them, it's about fitting into America. They won't even want the reparations.
No. They want it. If they start giving out some money, they'll want it.
Not if it jeopardizes their relationship and acceptance by white people. So you got to remember, Bobby David, most Americans do not support reparations.
Wow.
I'm gonna start skipping through.
Yes, most about reparations is interracial dating and interracial marriage to lighten up the population. And once the free population was light enough, Bobby David, they allowed them to reclassify themselves as white.
Wow.
That's why Puerto Rican blacks are so light. That's
okay,
why
I'll check it right now.
Blacks are so light. That's why Cuban blacks are so light, because the government did it on.
Okay, wait a minute. There are dark-skinned Cubans though too. What is he talking about? I played in a Cuban salsa band back in the day. There was a Cuban brother named Ignacio who played bass. Dark-skinned brother. The conga player, they were both from Cuba, dark-skinned. What is he talking about? I can't remember what his name was though. He had a bad temper. He didn't have a bad temper with me. We and him was cool. I was always laid back anyway. But that band ended up breaking up because he got upset and was trying to stab somebody or something. Said, well, anyway, I can't remember his name right now. I don't understand where Umar's coming from right there. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. Joker says, sorry, I'm late. Happy Resurrection Sunday to Lenon and Cooker said, what's Umar lying about now? Yeah. Well, we were talking, Louis Sucker had mentioned this earlier. What Umar does is he will tell some truth, but then he'll just mix in a whole bunch of lies. And it's an important point that Louis Sucker was making, because what happens is if he says something factual, people will listen to everything else that he says, and they will assume that everything else that he says is true, and they won't fact check him on it. And that's problematic. Matter of fact, one of the things, especially in those earlier Umar Johnson videos, as I continue to go through the Umar Johnson timeline, I'm in 2012 right now, is that a lot of his early rhetoric, he would put some nuggets of truth in there when he's talking about the school to prison pipeline, or he's talking about special education, or he's talking about misdiagnosis, the misdiagnosing of children. He will put some things in there that are truthful, and you can fact check him. But then he puts a whole bunch of other stuff in there that muddies the water, and it becomes dangerous because parents would make decisions based upon a little bit of truth of Umar, what he says, but then a whole bunch of lies and fabrications, and they would make decisions that would impact their children's lives. That's very dangerous. Okay, so anyway, he on here lying. He lied about being related to Frederick Douglass. He about to lie about the certificate of occupancy. He blamed it on a Jamaican brother. It's crazy. Thank you, Joker. Joker 12341, and appreciate you appreciate super chat. Amanya says, Umar got a bare minimum 2. Okay, I got this one already. Yeah, I got this one already. Yeah, it's bare minimum 2 million at this point. Chaotic says, okay, I got this one earlier. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm all cut up. Okay, I hope I didn't miss anyone else. I think I'm all cut up now. Okay, so I'm going to start skipping through some of this so we can get to the part.
Purpose, they didn't want the country to look like a black country, so they deliberately lightened it up. America is doing the same thing. We're talking about
the Night Talk family, Bob Laws, who for me,
integration is when you take the entire black community of America and you mix them in with white people completely in every sector of society, from education to housing, to vacationing, to restauranting, to hotel, to higher ed. When you integrate, you basically eliminate all independent infrastructure that black people had. Dr. King never advocated for that. He never advocated for that. He simply fought for access. In other words, Bob and David, if you and your wife are traveling through South Carolina one night and you guys are running out of gas and y'all need to get some gas, and the only gas station in that town is a white-owned gas station, you should be able to get gas. It doesn't mean you'll never get gas from another black gas station again. It just means that in this town, this is the only gas station, and I should be able to use it. If I'm with my wife and we're in Louisiana or Arkansas.
What you mean if you with your wife? Can you believe this guy?
Arkansas or Mississippi, and we got to find a hotel to sleep in because it's too dangerous to sleep in the car, and the only hotel in that town is a white one. We should be able to get a room in that white hotel. It doesn't mean you stop going to black hotels. It just means you have access when you need it. It was black people, self-hating Negroes, after.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Deshaun said, you leave Louisiana out of your BS. Yeah. You guys, boy, y'all be, somebody said Vladimir Leonard. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. I'm just going to keep skipping
Dr.
through.
King's assassination, who voluntarily gave up our.
It was. He come all the way here, and then you're going to deny.
He came all the way over here, and you insult him like that. You insult the whole nation like that. You insult all African people by not giving him a degree because he doesn't support gay sex. But talk about cultural imperialism, cultural forcing your way of life on the oldest people in the world is insane.
But they don't want to cancel out people that support the genocide in Gaza.
Exactly. Great comparison. And also, Bob, I don't know if you saw that, Bill Cosby was sued yet again.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby was sued yet again, and the woman, Los Angeles Superior Court, this just happened about 2 weeks ago, Los Angeles Superior Court. This woman claims that Bill Cosby slipped her 2 white pills. She was a waitress at a restaurant. He slipped her 2 white pills, and she alleges that he subsequently assaulted her 54 years ago. Help me understand, Baba, how you got any evidence, any proof at all that you were sexually assaulted by Bill Cosby 54 years ago, and they gave that woman over $19 million, Baba, for a crime that allegedly occurred 54 years ago. And how do you know he gave you 2 pills? If you know he gave you 2 pills, then you was conscious of the fact that you were taking 2 pills.
That's right.
Why did you take 2 pills if you didn't know that they were 4? And why did you wait 51 years for the lawsuit, 54 years for the settlement? They are beating up on Bill Cosby, and I believe, Baba David, that all of these celebrity black men who are constantly being drugged before the court of public opinion and accused of the most egregious sex crimes against women, they need a class action lawsuit. They need to sue the government. They need to sue the government for discrimination.
I ain't listening to none of this. I'm trying to find me a pager. I'm trying to find me a pager on the
and racism and sexual misconduct prosecutions. Because I'm trying to understand how Sean Combs is serving 5 years, but Mike Jeffries of Abercrombie and Fitch, They said that he was mentally incompetent to stand trial, and now they're trying to get him completely off of his international sex trafficking case of men. He was forcing men into sex against their will, Baba, all over the world, global. Nothing Sean Combs was accused of, and guess what? He was given a $10 million bail, but they told Sean Combs, you're not going to get no bail at all because you're a danger to the society. How is Sean Combs a danger to the society, but Abercrombie and Fitch CEO Mike Jeffries is not a danger to society? And they were arrested the same month, Baba, but the only person the news kept showing you was Combs, and they never said much about Mike Jeffries at all. Look at Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon of the WWF and then the WWE.
Yeah, that Vince McMahon stuff was crazy.
He was accused of flat out sexually assaulting women, holding them down against their will, having his friends sexually assault them, defecating on them against their will. I mean, what he was.
Oh my God! What in the world?
Accused of in that lawsuit, Baba, way worse than Puff. He ain't been to jail a day in his life. You know why?
Umar always defending Puff.
Because him and his wife, who is now the Secretary of Education, who's never been an educator.
My son started laughing. What was that character? You guys, what was that? You guys were watching that movie yesterday. What was it called? The cartoon. It was the episode 3 of the animals. You remember? And Chris Rock plays the zebra.
Yeah.
What was it that you guys were watching?
It was Madagascar.
Madagascar 3. And what was the character you said looked like Umar? Yeah, he said one of the lions. He said one of the bigger lions, the bigger. He was watching. He said, "Hey, Dad, that looks like Umar." They were watching Madagascar 3 yesterday. No, not the hippo. It was a lion, but it was a lion that it wasn't a main character. Okay. Let's keep going.
She's the Secretary of Education. Vince McMahon ain't been to jail because they gave Donald Trump a $25 million campaign contribution 2 years ago.
I was going to mention that.
But again, to my point, Baba, those black men, Puffy,
Cosby,
Bill Cosby, they need a class action lawsuit. Someone needs to sue because they are literally being targeted. They are being hunted.
Oh, cut it out, Umar.
And they are being targeted. Even when you look at the accusations against Tyler Perry, always in the media. Smokey Robinson, always in the media. Donnie McClurkin, T.D. Jakes. And I'm not going to say all of them are innocent of every accusation. My point is, why aren't white men accused of the same or worse being pursued, hunted, and exposed by the media as...
I found me a pager, y'all. It's a Motorola talk about pager. And it's red and black too. I'm gonna get that. I'm ordering it right now.
As much as the black men being accused of it. Look clearly a double standard. Something needs to be done about it.
Look at Harvey Weinstein. They talk about letting him out of jail because he's getting old.
Yep.
But he in jail. What you talking about? The other guy too, Epstein. Come on, cut it out.
Something needs to be done about it. If Sean Combs is in jail for 5 years, somebody's gonna have to explain to me how Vince McMahon and Mike Jeffries are not.
So,
okay. You eliminate all independent infrastructure that black people had. Wait, it's isn't one of Umar Johnson's biggest talking points that black people don't have institutions? Yeah. The reason why Umar says that black people don't have institutions or that we're not building institutions is to shame black people and disparage black people into giving him money so that he can open up FDMG, which he considers to be an institution. So that's on that side of the fence, where it's more about disparaging black people and painting black people in a negative light. But then he has a solution for the infrastructure that doesn't exist. He's going to open. That's why he'll say, our own banks, our own grocery stores, our own schools. Okay, he always throws schools in there because that's what that's about. It's about disparaging black people and shaming them, making black people feel bad about themselves because he ain't talking to me. Y'all ain't got no infrastructure. Anytime Umar talk negative like that, he ain't talking to me. Your kids, you bad parents, you don't take care. No, I don't want to hear all that. You don't take care of your kid. Anyway, so that's on one hand. But then on the other hand, what it does is it perpetuates this notion that white people have all of this power, so that Black people can't have their own independent infrastructure. So white people have all this power, global white supremacy, so forth and so on. Black people ain't shit because Black people don't have any infrastructure. And part of the reason why is because of white supremacy, but then it's about disempowering Black people. And then he becomes a solution. He has the answer. He has the power via this great institution that he calls FDMG. That's what Umar is doing here. Thank you, UG5. He's done this for a long time, not just here. He's going to start talking about Pikachu next. He might as well. He all over the place. He might as well throw in Pikachu, okay, Charizard, and all the rest of them. Thanks, Derek. Fi Taylor sent in a super sticker. Thank you so much, Fi Taylor. Hope you're doing all right. And then Brandon says, why is he acting like McMahon family aren't the most hated people in their industry? Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, and there's a lot, though. There's a lot of people that have skated on things. I was thinking about it recently, the guy that slapped his wife at the casino, the MMA guy. He's like the CEO for the MMA. I can't think of his name right now. And that was blatant and everyone saw that. But what repercussions did he really face? You guys know what I'm talking about? Another one is there's an he's older now. I think he's probably in his 80s. I can't remember his name right now, but he used to do films. Like, we were kind of weird films back in the day. But he ended up getting with his adopted daughter. So it's a lot of people that's gotten away with a lot of kind of weirdo type of stuff and stuff that's assault type of stuff and all kind of weirdo stuff. Yeah, Woody Allen is his name. Yep, Woody Allen. And then the other guy's name is Dana White. That's his name. I don't think he faced any type of repercussions from that. And I saw that. I said, man, that's, anyway, so what I'm getting at is that, yeah, there are people who skate on certain things, but Umar tries to make it seem like it's some sort of a conspiracy against these successful Black men, like Bill Cosby or Diddy. Okay, we saw the video of Diddy, right, beating up on Cassie. And he was into that freaky shit. He was the freak off stuff. That's what baby oil and all that stuff. So hey, it is what it is. Okay. Anyway, yeah, R. Kelly is another one, but he got away with it for a long time, and he finally got caught up. See. And Umar's defended R. Kelly. He tends to defend abusers consistently. R. Kelly, he defends P. Diddy. He defends Bill Cosby. Yeah, I can't even watch Cosby Show anymore, y'all. Can't even watch it. Sad. That was my show back in the day. Okay. Anyway, a good point here, Brandon. Yeah. Munya says Umar has to sell the problem so that he can offer the solution via your donation money. Yeah. It reminds me of when I was in conspiracy theories, the conspiracy theory paradigm. I was in it real deep. There was a guy named David Icke, and he used to talk about problem, reaction, solution. He used to talk about that a lot, and he would frame it it would be framed in different areas. Like one of the main areas, that's how I got into like media manipulation and stuff and mind control, was that media, what they do is they'll report on a problem, whether it's real or not. People react to it, and then a solution is given. And then it just recycles over and over again. So you keep people in this state of fear because they're just reacting to this horrible potential thing that's but then you give them a solution to it too. And this goes over and over and over again. Well, Umar does the same thing. And he was a conspiracy theorist too. A lot of his earlier talking points, he would talk about the Bilderbergs and the Illuminati. He would talk about the Trilateral Commission, all that stuff. I mean, I was into that stuff. So he still uses that same type of thing as a manipulative tactic where he will present a problem and then there's a reaction. And then based upon the reaction, Umar presents a solution. Sometimes the reaction isn't what Umar wants. Like he'll even, and it's not just a problem for Black people. He'll present a problem for himself. Okay, I think I want to go to law school. That's the problem. But y'all gonna have to pay for it. It's gonna cost about $300,000. You guys are gonna have to donate for me to go so I can save your children and fight for your kids. And then people reacted, but the reaction wasn't what Umar thought. He thought people were like, yeah, let's go for it. No, he's supposed to be opening up a school. And so as a solution, he just drops it. Well, with FDMG, the problem was a school to prison pipeline and your children being misdiagnosed, and all the teachers hate your kids, and they all trying to put them in a special education, and the counselors are in on it, and the school principals in on it. Not even the black ones, they ain't shit. Even the ones that wear the dashiki, that he said that. That's the problem, right? People react to it in fear. Oh my God, we're gonna happen. Okay, and then Umar presents a solution. What's the solution? FDMG. He's been collecting money ever since. So you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Create, sell the problem so that you can offer the solution. And that's precisely what Umar Johnson has done. Okay. Thanks, Munya. Lenon, what's the funniest thing to clown Umar Johnson about? I don't even think it's funny, but it's sad too. I think him living in Mama Closet. I think the Mama Closet is a thing. You know, I don't believe this Umar Johnson saga is going to last beyond the beginning towards the early part of next year. I don't think so. I've been at this a long time, and Umar can't keep this up forever. There's no way. And he's had especially in 2025, he had so many problems and issues, including issues specific to FDMG. Almost losing these trap bandos. And I told people last year that inevitably, if he's able to continue this on, let's say for another 3 or 4 years, inevitably he's going to be right back in that position where the city is going to send him a munition talking about, we're going to sell these trap bandos from so that we can get this money that you owe. That's where he's going to end up. So I just don't think that it's possible for Umar to just do this indefinitely. It's just I just don't think it's possible. But out of everything that we've looked at over these many years, I think that him and his Mama Closet, it's the saddest part of this. Well, it's not maybe not the saddest part, because I think how he did his daughter is the saddest part. But the idea that a guy could raise millions of dollars, have allegedly 6 degrees. He has 5, but he says 6 degrees. He claims to be a school principal and a certified school psychologist and the most requested scholar and all the other stuff, you know, that he claims that he is. And for him to be reduced to living off of his mama in Section 8 housing, that's sad. But it's also funny because Umar, with his arrogance, he's so arrogant and he believes that he's better than everybody else. And yet that's the situation that he finds himself in. All right. Thanks, user 225. Joker says, funniest to me are the pants. Yeah, that's a good one. The pants and the vegan sports bar. Yeah, I think that in terms of Umar, the stuff that he's come up with, because he has like his imagination is like a child's imagination. I think the vegan sports bar it has to be in the top 5. It may be in the top 3. Vegan sports bar. One of the things he said was that they was going to put an observatory up on the roof. Okay, that's got to be in the top 5. So we got that. We got the vegan sports bar. Teach the boys how to fly helicopters, boys and girls at that time. I don't have the video, but teach the boys and girls how to fly helicopters so that when the parents come to see their kids, the parent would fly into the airport and then their kids will pick them up in a helicopter. That's got to be in the top 5 too. That's 3 right there. He never said a space station. Umar never said. The TV said that was a great idea. So yeah, he has a lot of great ideas. They're not realistic though. So that's 3. Can we come up with 2 more right quick? Just stuff that Umar's come up with that's just way off the wall. The phone ringing after he answered. Yeah, that's got to be in the top 5. That might be number 1. Okay, we need one more, y'all. we gonna get going. So the For Good video, yeah, that's gotta be a top 5 too. The story, the alien story, that's gotta be in the top 5 too. I don't know. Yeah, the horse stables, that's digging up the dead to rebury them at FDMG and Uncle Nancy. The Lauryn Hill story, oh my God, that's Lauryn Hill story got to be in the top 3. Boy, that Lauryn Hill story, if y'all ain't heard that was the most the craziest thing. Yeah, we got the vegan sports bar already. That's in there. This is the top 10 right here. No gin today. I wouldn't put the no gin today in the top 10 though. We need one more for the top 10. Michael said the underwater kingdom. Yeah, getting the bank. I wouldn't put the getting the bank to the top 10 though. Maybe the top 15. We already got Uncle Nancy in there. Okay, we need one more. Back to back Memphis. No, we already got D-Will. We already got that one. The dirty room video. Yeah. Okay, that's 10 right there. Yeah, the toilet video. That's 11. We already got the alien punched him in it. Cemeteries. Yeah, no, we already got the cemeteries. Black Rambo Club. That's got to be in the top 15. All right, let's do. I'll spit. I'll pause it. Let's do 3 more. Okay. Lucy Goosey. Lucy Goosey. The Dirt Fight Club and the Gun Club. Oh man, y'all wow. Okay, let's get back to it. It's a suspect. That's got to be in the top 5. I forgot about that one. I forgot. Yeah, the strong alpha males. He was doing like this. That's got to be in the top 5. No, that ain't top 5. That's top 10. Okay. Oh no, not the granny archers. Oh man. All right, we can't put everything in the top 10 though, but that's up there. Yeah. When he was searching for that crack rock, that's got to be in the top 5 for sure. He had to turn another heat down video. Yeah, I couldn't find the original video that I had it. I have it somewhere. It's in one of my old hard drives. I couldn't find it online anymore. The whole thing. All right, let me get up out of here. Yeah. Miguel Jackson as well. We got to put him in the top 10 for sure. All right. Let me get. I don't even know how we got it onto this. Oh, this is how Joker said. Funnest to me are those pants and the vegan sports. Okay. All right, and user 225 started this fast. Derek says horses for each classroom and fireside cuddles. Yeah, that's crazy. Thanks, Derek. And then usually when that Asian lady called in trouble. Yeah, that's got to be the top 10 too. That was crazy. All right, thanks, user 225. She was funny too. She did a good job. Okay, I got to get out this chat because plus I got to order my pager. Hold on a second. It's a red black one. Okay, let's keep going here. Shout out to everyone in the Cookie Crush chat. Thanks everyone who sent in super chats. I normally don't live stream on the weekend, but Umar's been busy. Okay, so let me just check to see where we're at on the likes. Okay, we're already at 500, so we reached the goal on likes. Thank you guys. If you're enjoying the show and you haven't hit the like button, go on and hit it. It'll take you 2 or 3 seconds, but it makes a huge difference. We have over 1,384 votes. When will Umar Johnson open FDMG? 4% said 2027, 4% said 2029, 9% said 2032, and 83% said sometime in 2050. Okay, I'm gonna set up another poll because I want to put in some of these moments with the Umar Johnson saga. So let's do one right quick. What was the funniest? I don't know if the funniest is the right word. So let me go back. What's the funniest thing? Okay, I'll do this verbatim. What's the funniest thing to clown Umar Johnson about? Okay. Living in his mama closet. Wow, we just did so many of them. The Asian woman trolling him. Let me scroll back up. There were so many good ones. Yeah, someone said pajama mama. Yeah, that should be in there too. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put the NBA as a suspect. The NBA is a suspect and fake phone call. We do those 4 because it only allows me to do 4. Fake phone call. Okay, get your vote in. Okay, let's keep going. Get going on this video again. All right, thank you guys for all of the super chats, and then also Randy says #1 spot he slept on the couch. Okay, yeah, he slept on the couch. Okay, we're gonna leave that alone though. Thank you, Randy, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Okay, make sure you get your vote in on the poll question, everyone. We'll keep going with this video. I think we're close to that part though.
I tell you, are you still traveling a lot, or have you?
Yeah, we're
cut
close.
back on your speaking?
All
right, Aquila, thank you.
Yeah, but I just wanted to call and wish you a
thank you
anniversary and 24 more.
That's right, at least.
Yeah, happy anniversary to this brother.
I'm sorry, Dr. Johnson.
Still traveling.
Yeah.
Not as much lately because we've been focusing on FDMG. Just to give you an update on FDMG, Bobby David, and we spoke last time I was on the show that on the Honorable Frederick Douglass's 200th, not his 200th, like his 207th birthday now, February 14th, we completed everything, not only the renovations, but also the clean out of the school. And we just ready now to decorate the school, but we have to get our final building inspection and our certificate of occupancy. And just to keep the people aware of what's going on, the building inspector for our district, Bobby David, I don't think he's a Dr. Umar supporter at all. He is a black man. And he is the descendant of immigrants who came to this country. And I think that he is either he himself came to the country or he is the descendant of immigrants who came to this country, respectfully. And he doesn't really care for me, to be honest with you. And I noticed just by his behavior over the 7 years that we've had the school. The last time I saw him was on March 10th. We did a walk through the building. He told me he would give me a phone call. Because my whole thing is where we are now, we're ready for our inspection and we're ready for our certificate of occupancy. He said he would get back to me. It's been almost a month. He has not gotten back to me yet. This is not the first time I've asked him to get in contact with me. There's been times before where I've asked him to get in contact with me. Once I asked him to do a pre-walkthrough, this a couple of years ago, I wanted him to do a pre-walkthrough, Baba, to tell us if there's anything he thinks we need to focus on. And he said he would get back to me, and he never did. And I have a whole list of things that he's done through the years that were kind of, a little bit, that just kind of showed me that he wasn't particularly supportive or interested in helping us get our building inspection. So right now I have an attorney looking at the situation, how we should proceed, because we should have our certificate of occupancy. We should have already had our final building inspection, and it's being held up by the inspector of our district. And he's of Jamaican origin, and I love my Jamaican Africans. Everybody know I love Jamaica. It's one of my favorite places to be in the world. I'm a very big deal in Jamaica. Jamaica is a very big deal to me. But unfortunately, I have a building inspector who is of Jamaican heritage who does not show any signs whatsoever of being supportive of Dr. Umar in getting this final inspection and his certificate of occupancy. So that's what we're fighting now. The school is done. It's just sitting there, and we're trying to find out why this man hasn't contacted me to schedule a date to come in and do the inspection. But like I said, I have an attorney looking at it, and we'll see where it goes from here. But we're being held up from our building inspector. And I just hope and pray, Baba David, that this isn't another case of a black immigrant versus a black freedman, because I'm a Pan Africanist. I believe we are all one people. I don't care whether you was born in America, whether you came by ship, whether you came by plane, whether you came by boat. We are one people, one family, one race. But I must be honest with you, it is starting to look like a black immigrant versus a freedman type of a situation.
Well, we talked about this last week also, that
that's horrible. He's a disgrace. Umar's a disgrace. I don't know what else I can tell people. So you notice he says of Jamaican descent over and over again. Why does he do that? Because he's planting a seed, and then he's tying it to someone who's an immigrant, right? These immigrants. Now it's the black immigrants. They're doing the sabotage. And they're doing it against us black Americans, us free men. That gets back to Umar's. Remember, he tried to start the thing. What was it called? DACA or something like that? That's why he said freeman. You don't hear him talking like that. He always talking, I'm a Pan Africanist, right? Yeah, DAFA. So he introduced this year. It's called Descendants of African Freedmen in America. See, African freedmen in America, descendants. But now he's creating that separation between the DAFA, the descendants of African freedmen in America, and separating that from the black immigrants. And in this case, from Jamaica. Horrible. Now, I did my research too. I tried to find out who this person he's talking about is, but he didn't give a name, so I couldn't pinpoint a person. He did say the inspector for such and such, and there is, you can go onto the website. It's called, and it's the NewcastleDE.gov website. And there is a page called Meet Your Inspector. And this is where I look to try to find out who this person is. And they have inspectors' names here. And I went through all of them. And you click on the name. Here, I'll provide you guys with a link. You guys can look at it while I talk about it. But I couldn't identify who this person is. Okay, but it may be associated with something else. But this is the website, Newcastle County Land Use. You can scroll down on this page and you can put in the parcel numbers for these buildings too and get information there. We used to do this years and years ago, like in 2019, we were looking at this in 2020, 2021. I think by maybe a little bit in 2022, but by the time we got into 2023, I stopped going up over there because by that time he had already paid off all the taxes and it wasn't really much there for me in terms of my research. But if you go on to this link right here, you'll see inspectors' names. And I went through these inspectors' names. You can click on it. And then what it'll show on the map is the region that they're over. And I went through all of them, but I could not find any of these individuals in the region that correlates to where Umar has these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. That's besides the point, though. Okay. Is it possible that the brother is Jamaican? Yes, but why would you disclose that he's Jamaican? Why would that even matter? Is it possible that there is no one of Jamaican descent that Umar Johnson communicated with? That's possible too. He lies all the time. But he's setting this up now. Truth be told, he already set this up. He just didn't have the specificity. We talked about that with Umar. See, earlier on, he'll bring stuff up, but he doesn't have the specificity because he's still trying to work this shit out in his mind and how he's going to spin this false narrative. He's going to throw Jamaican, in essence, he's throwing immigrants, Jamaican immigrants, but really all immigrants now, because part of this whole DACA thing is to create separation between black people that he calls freemen or descendants of freemen and black people who would be, let's say, from the islands or immigrants from other places. That's what he's doing here. But he's using this as an opportunity to not only create that divide, but then blame his own failures with FDMG and why he hasn't even gotten started with the inspections for the certificate of occupancy. He's trying to blame it on somebody else. So, but why would he, see? That's what I'm saying with Umar. Why is it necessary for Umar to go through these lengths to concoct these fanciful stories and throw other groups of people under the bus? He always talking shit about other groups of people too. Meanwhile, he's the descendant of a Cuban. It's not that big of a deal. Like I said, if you guys go do your DNA, you go do your DNA test, 99% of y'all have genetic material from other groups of people around the world outside of Africa. And it's no big deal. What the fuck? It's not that big of a deal. Come on, people. Who cares? I don't. But Umar has to go to this extreme now. Really, this is the early stages. Just like he did this with last year when the munition comes down the line. He was trying to spin a narrative way in advance that his bank accounts got shut down because he was going to use that as an excuse not to be able to pay that off, so that in my opinion, so that the city would take these trap vandals from him. Because then he can say it was this massive conspiracy and they took the Billings family, so we're going to have to start over. That's what speculation, but that's what I think Umar Johnson was attempting to do. But we threw a monkey wrench in that shit. When the person, shout out to the person that sent me that munition, pictures of that munition, and I posted it right after I got that information. Threw a monkey wrench in Umar's monkey. Let me stop. All right, it's going too far. All right. Anyway, for him to go to this extreme, he's just setting it up now, though. He's setting it. He's being more specific because that's why he keeps saying Jamaican. But he's going to spin this even further. I guarantee it. Unless he sees this video and realizes that he made a huge mistake. Just a bad decision on his part. But he has to find someone to blame. Consistently, Umar Johnson always blames someone else. He never holds himself accountable. And I'm going to tell you guys something. Umar hasn't put in for the certificate of occupancy. And the reason why, and that's why this delay, he's trying to blame it on somebody else. No, he ain't put it in. I'm going to tell you guys why. Because you don't have to, in order to make this happen, you don't got to be talking with people. There's a phone number that you call. You tell them what you need to take place, and then they'll set it up, and then someone will come out. And it don't take a month or 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. It's not like that. Not at all. So Umar, the issue is that Umar, he hasn't put in for the certificate of occupancy. He hasn't called that number to set up an appointment to start to have inspection start. Why hasn't he done that? Well, it goes back to the whole issue in the first place. And this is what Umar doesn't want to hold himself accountable for. Renovations aren't complete. That's all this shit is. But instead of owning up to the fact that he lied about renovations being completed in 2023, and he lied about renovations being completed in February of 2026, he has to lie. And he's lying on allegedly a brother who is of Jamaican descent. Listen, that's trifling. It's devious. Horrible. Now, I have been able to pinpoint this brother. I can make some phone calls tomorrow to find out. Probably could find out. You know, but what kind of question do I ask? I would have to ask, okay, for this specific address, and give the address for these trap bandos, who is the inspector? Who's over that region? And go from there, because that would be Umar, because it doesn't appear on this website. I looked. I could do that. But see, it's possible that Umar hasn't been in communication with this alleged brother. It could be something phantom that he's created just to concoct a story to justify why it is that that inspections haven't started. The reason why inspections haven't started is because Umar hasn't put in, he hasn't made the phone call. And he hasn't made the phone call because he does not want inspection to take place. Well, why not? Okay, listen, this is critical thinking. Why doesn't Umar Johnson want the inspections to take place? Because he knows that these trap bandos are going to fail inspection. He hasn't finished renovations. But he knows they won't even have to go inside. They would have to just look on the outside, and that'd be more than enough for them to say, oh, no, this ain't happening. They're going to pull permits. That's one of the first things that they're going to do, to make sure that the work that has been done has been, work that's been done by professionals. Well, Umar didn't get permits. Clearly, he didn't get permits for everything that was done up there, including painting. He had his loyal donors come up there and paint for free. And the paint job is trifling too. Just tacky. I'm so tired of, how you going to raise millions of dollars and then you ain't raised $1 million? How you going to raise $1 million? $2 million at this point. My best estimate has got to be closer to $3 million. And you can't, you're not even going to get professionals to come and paint. And then on top of that, listen, Umar used the paint from the Moyer Academy to paint the outside. And when he went into that room where the paint was stored, he says it's another building. We covered this yesterday. When he went in there, do you guys remember what the brother that was in there, what he said about the paint and the other stuff that was in there? He said that's hazardous material. If you leave paint sitting anywhere, and in particular inside of this storage unit with no ventilation, with no cooling or nothing like that, and you let it sit from, let me go, I'm about to find out. I'm gonna go tell y'all right now. Let me pull up my timeline. The J. Moyer Academy opened for the first time in 2006. It closed in 2010, and then it reopens in 2012. It's likely that the paint is from 2012. It could be 2013. It could be 2014. It closes in 2015, but it could be from 2012. But let's give Umar the benefit of the doubt. That paint was sitting in there since at least 2000, in and around 2014, it could be 2012, but 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's when he acquires it. That's sitting there for 5 years, 20. And then I think the paint day on the exterior was in, no, that was in 2020. So at least 6 years old, sitting in a small storage space with no ventilation, no heating, or no cooling out there in Wilmington, Delaware. That's why the brother said what? He said that it was hazardous material. And Umar used that to paint the outside of these buildings. He knows it's not going to pass inspection. Mold all over the place. I'm just talking just on the exterior alone. They ain't even got to go inside. Railing, the railing that the kids would be holding on to go down the steps, rust and shit. That's not going to pass. He knows that. So that's why he ain't put in for the certificate to get the inspection started. But he gonna blame this Jamaican immigrant. Now it's the immigrants. They're sabotaging these black immigrants. Now they're sabotaging. Horrible. Umar, you should be ashamed of yourself. Where was Marcus Garvey from too, by the way? You see how crazy this is? Where was Marcus Garvey from? You already done lied about Frederick being related to Frederick Douglass. You're gonna name the school Frederick Douglass. You're gonna name the school Marcus Garvey. We're gonna play that again.
Focusing on FDMG, just to give you an update on FDMG, Bobby David, and we spoke last time I was on the show that on the Honorable Frederick Douglass's 200th, not his 200th, like his 207th birthday now, February 14th, we completed everything, you know, not only the renovations, but also the clean out of the school. And we just ready now to decorate the school, but we have to get our final building inspection and our certificate of occupancy. And just to keep the people aware of what's going on, the building inspector for our district, Bobby David, I don't think he's a Dr. Umar supporter at all. He is a black man, and he is the descendant of immigrants who came to this country. And I think that he is.
See that? He says immigrant. Let's count how many times he puts immigrant in there. Okay. And he's saying this, listen, he doesn't even know. That's why I think he may even be just making this up. Watch this.
Spoke last time I was on the show that on the Honorable Frederick Douglass's 200th, not his 200th, like his 207th birthday now, February 14th, we completed everything, you know, not only the renovations, but also the clean out of the school. And we just ready now to decorate the school, but we have to get our final building inspection and our certificate of occupancy. And just to keep the people aware of what's going on, the building inspector for our district, Bobby David, I don't think he's a Dr. Umar supporter at all.
See how he says, I don't think. What is that supposed to mean?
He is a black man, and he is the descendant of immigrants who came to this country. And I think that he is either he himself came to the country or
see that? Either he himself came to the country or which one is it? Yeah, that's all he's doing. He's setting a lie up. He's setting this up.
Inspector, the descendant of immigrants who came to this country. And I think that he is either he himself came to the country or he is the descendant of immigrants who came to this country, respectfully.
Respectfully. Well, I tell you, I don't like this. I just don't like it. It's divisive. See, I'm not with that. And again, I have ancestors that came over. And people say, well, maybe you're biased. Well, maybe, shit. But we're all human beings. That's how I look at it. I have ancestry that came over as immigrants. I have ancestors that came over as slaves. And I don't see any ancestry that's, you know, higher, better than. I just don't look at it that way. I'm sexy with mine. You know, you know what I mean? I ain't. I know I'm sexy with mine. So I think my ancestors, okay, grandma, grandpa, papa, you know, they was getting it in so that I could exist. Respectfully, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, they made a good choice as far as I'm concerned. So I'm not with all that divisive stuff like that. And for Umar to be doing it just to have an excuse for his own failures, it's just ridiculous. Meanwhile, he keeps saying it, that it's an immigrant, and he's saying it's Jamaican. Why would you throw, even if it's true, it's not, but even if it's true, why would you put that information out there like that? I don't believe Umar. I don't think he's put in for anything or contacted anybody.
And he doesn't really care for me, to be honest with you. And
well, what are you in a relationship with him? What are you talking about? Well, you know, I don't think he really cares for me. You know, he didn't bring me flowers. He didn't massage my back, lower back massage. He wouldn't bring me the chocolate covered strawberries. What? I don't think he cared for me. He just didn't. He wouldn't talk to me. Motherfucker, if you don't cut it out, he ignored me, family. He ignored me. He broke my heart. He just broke it. So Umar, he's so dramatic. He's so dramatic. I haven't been the same ever since he broke. He stopped. He wouldn't call me. Wouldn't return my phone calls. Umar, you ain't got to do all this. Stop with all of this soap opera, Young and the Restless shit. We don't want to hear all that. I left about 15 messages just last night. Okay. I voicemailed him. I texted him. I sent him about 50 texts. Okay. Umar, you crazy. Anyway, let's watch this
on FDMG. Just to give you an update on FDMG, Bobby David, and we spoke last time I was on the show that on the Honorable Frederick Douglass's 200th, not his 200th, like his 207th birthday now, February 14th, we completed everything, not only the renovations, but also the clean out of the school. And we just ready now to decorate the school, but we have to get our final building inspection and our certificate of occupancy. And just to keep the people aware of what's going on, the building inspector for our district, Bobby David, I don't think he's a Dr. Umar supporter at all. He is a black man, and he is the descendant of immigrants who came to this country. And I think that he is either he himself came to the country or he is the descendant of immigrants who came to this country, respectfully. And he doesn't really care for me, to be honest with you. And
he played with my emotions. He strung me along for about a month. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. Y'all crazy. All right. Did he block me? He blocked me on Instagram. He blocked me on Facebook. He blocked me on YouTube. I was watching that video where Umar screamed that. I watched that today. He's like, he was on YouTube. But I got out of it because he would have never given my baby. Umar, he's so dramatic. He's funny though. He's funny. All right. I thought he loved me. And Father David? Yeah, what is it, son? I thought he loved me. Well, you know, listen, son, it happens sometimes. Yeah, you got to get over it. You got to keep pushing and moving on. All right. Boy, y'all got me cutting up on here on YouTube. That's what Umar said. I'm going to play that one for you guys. I have a mashup of that. He was tripping in that video. He would have never give me my baby. And you know what else? Father David, you know what else? What is it, son? He starts sniffing and blinking and shit. I think I'm pregnant. I think he made me a baby mama. He did. He did. He made me a baby mama. Don't worry, son. I'm going to help you take care of the baby. All right. All right, that's enough. It's Umar Johnson saga. Crazy, boy. Okay, let's get it is, Domo. It's always some drama with this guy. Now I've made 3 baby mamas, plus I'm a baby mama. That's crazy. Okay. Woo. Okay, let's get refocused. That's y'all's fault. Y'all be tripping in this chat room. I'll be blaming it on everybody else. All right. And he put me out. That's the worst. He put me out. It was cold. It was snowing outside. There was a cheetah looking at me. It was a hungry cheetah. It was going to pounce on me, Father David. All right. I forgot my purse, too. I forgot my purse in the room. All of my belongings, everything I've owned. Yeah, boy, that is crazy. And he won't pay child support. He told me he didn't love me. He said he would pay for the baby. Okay. Wow. That's crazy. All right. Let me get out this doggone. Let me get out this chat room now. Woo. Okay. This is what we're going to do. Let's take a quick break. Okay. I want to play for you guys. And then we're going to watch this part one more time and wrap this up. Well, y'all, Cooker Chess undefeated. Remember I was talking about the paint day, the old paint. Okay, here's the video proof of Umar having these people painting out here. And they're using the paint that was inside of the Moyer Academy. Had been sitting there, and the guy had said it's hazardous material, hazardous waste.
Peace and Black Power, family. Come on in, it's the Prince of Pan Africanism. Don't mind me, ladies, I'm drama, okay? Don't be drama like Dr. Umar.
You definitely drama.
It's the Prince of Pan Africanism. We live. Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. We are under the full moon in Taurus, October 31st. Last day of the month, full moon in Taurus. All right, daylight saving time tonight, very special.
Yeah, so the point is that they're using old paint, and that's toxic. And that's what they use to paint the exterior.
Day, Halloween for the
by the way, I just ordered my pager.
You know, but we out here painting with the loyal donors. Everybody you see behind me is a loyal donor. Not only do they give their money, they came out today to give their time, brothers and
so they give their money so that they can work for free. That's double slavery. All right, and tip the grift back there too.
Sisters, we giving the most honorable Marcus Garvey School a facelift. You understand? We giving the Nat Turner, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, okay, gymnasium a facelift. And our storage building, I forgot who I named that after. We giving that a facelift too. Cut it out. So we out here. Check us out. Paint Day. Yesterday was the book signing in New York, but I'm back to work today. Yesterday was the book signing in New York, but I'm back to work today. We getting it in, brothers and sisters. And guess what color the paint is? Nat Turner yellow.
Yeah, see, that's old paint. You can even tell. You can look at the sides of it, of the bucket on the interior. You can tell that's old paint. It's been sitting there for such a long time. Like on the outer, internally on the inside, I don't know how you would call that, but you can tell it's been sitting there. That's why it's dried up on the side like that, all the way down.
Yeah. Nat Turner yellow. Nat Turner yellow is the color.
See, they haven't used that amount of paint in that one bucket. That stuff was sitting in there for who knows how long.
The paint, look at that. Well, it's just Turner for the white folks, but for us, it's Nat Turner yellow. You know what I mean? So we doing what we do. I know some of y'all want to come volunteer, but you can't do that today. This is only Loyal Donors Club. If you want to join the Loyal Donors Club, go to drumarjohnson.com and sign up for bronze, $50 a month. Sign up for silver, $100 a month. Sign up for gold, $250 a month. Sign up for platinum, $500 a month. Sign up for diamond, $1,000 a month. Brothers and sisters, help us raise the money to get the school completed. We need $250K for the HVAC system, brothers and sisters.
$250K for the HVAC system. What? This video is from 2020. When he filed with the IRS, he put on there that he had over $500,000 cash sitting in a non-interest bearing account. So what is he talking about? You have the money. Hit the one.
It's the HVAC that's keeping us back right now. It's the HVAC that's keeping us back. And here goes Sister Keita and Brother Manny. Late, but they here. Sister Keita, say what's up to the people.
What's up?
All right, rest in peace to Brother Manny. Anyway, that's toxic. So they put this hazmat paint on the exterior right here. So when the inspectors come, even before they come, they're going to be looking. They're going to pull permits to see whether or not this was done professionally. They're going to find out right away that the paint was not done professionally, and then they're going to come out and look, and it's not going to pass just on that alone. And it's not just one inspection; it's different types of inspections. And just from the vantage point on the exterior, it's not going to pass. Crazy. Okay, before we wind this down, let me get to these other super chats. Asia says, Lenon, the inspection is never going to make it to the building because he doesn't have the paperwork in order. Yeah. They're going to look at what permits have been pulled. And you guys can look at that online too. I haven't done that in many years, but years ago, we were looking at that information. And he did get some permits pulled early on. I remember when he got the electricity done, at least on one side of the street, that he did have permits that were pulled from that, from my memory, if memory serves me correctly. But all this other stuff, there's no permits for that. At least the last time I checked, I didn't see any. Okay, could he have gotten permit work? What's a more recent thing that he did? There isn't anything recent that he's done up there that I can think of. Can y'all think of anything recent that he did dealing with renovations that would require permits being pulled? I can't even think of anything. See, that's the crazy part about this, is that if you really think about it, nothing substantive has actually taken place. He got some roof work done. That was in 2020, I believe. Yeah, I think it was in 2020. He got a new HVAC put up on the roof, but it was never, as he says, tied in. Fire alarms, maybe? Fire alarms. He would have to get pull permits for that, because there's a whole nother separate thing where the police, not the police department, the fire department, the fire marshal comes out. There's someone who sent me information about that too. I can't think, putting up a fence, that had to do with being in compliance with the city. I don't know if he would have had to, I don't know about that. But that wasn't major. I wouldn't consider that to be major though either. You know, when I think about it, what Alfredo brings up the HVAC. The HVAC, that was years ago. Excuse me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not in my own mind. I can't think of anything major taking place over the last 2 or 3 years that I can think of. Plumbing, maybe plumbing. Okay, yeah, lady. Let's say plumbing. Is it possible that plumbing work was done since the last time I looked at? No, because I remember when he got the water turned on. Yeah, back then, yeah, if memory serves me correctly, I did. I took a look to see if permits were pulled, and I don't remember seeing permits being pulled for that. I could be wrong though. It's such a long time ago. I would have to go back and look. The point is that Isn't it amazing? I can't even think of anything substantive that has taken place over the last 3 years dealing with renovations up there. And yet Umar has been saying that he's been renovating since 2021. But I can't think of anything substantive over the last 3 years. I'm still trying to think. I can't think of anything. Anyway, you're absolutely right, Asia. Even before they make the trip down there to these trap banners, they're going to look at permits. And they can actually pull that up on the website. You and I can pull that up on the website. We can do it right now. You can pull it up and see if the proper permits were pulled. And they're going to see right away that in terms of a renovation project of this scale, excuse me, I need to clear my throat, of this scale, the amount of permits that were pulled is not going to be reflective of a project of this scale. And then when they go and go look, they're going to be able to tell right away. This is their profession. That's what they do. They go and they look to see whether or not a building is up to code, and they know what to look for, things that Umar would not even think about. So yeah, Asia, that's why Umar does not want to get to this next phase, which is to have these buildings inspected. And that's why he concocts his story about this immigrant. I'm sorry. It's just, he's just wrong on that one. He's wrong on a lot of stuff, but that's wrong to do that. You're going to name the school after Marcus Garvey, and then you're going to throw this brother allegedly, because he could be making all this shit up, but still, it's not a good look, because it paints immigrants in a negative light, but it also paints Jamaican immigrants in a negative light. And yet you named your school after Marcus Garvey. Shady. Thanks, Asia. Yeah, this is a good point too, ties to what Asia's saying. There's also going to be ongoing inspections that schools go through once they are operational. Yeah, there's also going to be inspections to open up a school. See, Umar thinks because of the independent school and they're not funded by the government that he don't have to go through. No. It's one thing to get your building inspected, but if you're going to actually, this is going to be a school with children, there's a whole nother set of inspections that's going to be tied to that. Whole nother set of rules and regulations that's going to be tied to that. But Umar thinks that he's exempt because in his mind, the dictatorial, he thinks he can do whatever he wants to, and because it's independent, it's not tied to the state. I can do what I want to with these kids too, evidently. Junior gun club and turn them into black Rambos. But there's going to be a whole nother set. And then at that point, who's Umar going to blame it on? He ain't never going to get to that point because just like I said, he's not going to pass inspection. That's why he don't want to get to this next level. He want to just throw Jamaicans under the bus and immigrants under the bus and blame them now because they're conspiring in this case against him to sabotage. All right. It's just horrible. I mean, I've seen Umar do some horrible stuff, but that right there is just, it's ridiculous. Okay. Jason says, hello from South. Shout out to South Korea. Shout out to South Korea. He keeps making everything about race when a lot of the issue is simply him not understanding how the process works. Yeah. Yeah, I think Umar's, his go-to, his baseline is always to go back to some sort of racial type of a conflict. And whether it's amongst black people or black people against immigrants or DACA against these immigrants or black people against white supremacy or white people, it's always something. It's like when he went on the Breakfast Club and he's talking bad about Chinese people. But meanwhile, at that time, one of the hosts was half Chinese. He be talking mess about what DJ Envy is I can't remember what it is right now, but it's an island. He be talking mess about them, but then he'll go on his show. Yeah, he's a race hustler. So a lady just said he's a race hustler at Jason. He is. That's what he does. And it ain't got nothing to do. This has nothing to do with race. The people who do these inspections, they're not worried about that. This is their job. It doesn't benefit them either not to pass. You think they want to come back out to look at these traps? Let me stop. See, they want to pass. Listen, if it's up to code, they want to pass it so they can move on. They got work to do. But Umar has to make it about race. And in this case, I don't know what we would classify this at, because it's race too, but he does say it's a black man, but then he flips it into an immigrant, and it's a Jamaican. Now, Jamaican immigrants, y'all the problem now. And then, of course, Umar set up his Freeman situation thing, whatever, DACA, whatever. So now he set that up already in advance so that he can have this story about how it's now it's crazy. All right. But anyway, the point is that it's not about race. It's about the process. And Umar, not only is he unaware of the process, but I would propose that even if he understood the process, he would still find excuses because he does not want to have these buildings inspected, because if they're inspected, he knows that it's going to fail inspection. Okay. All right. Thanks, Jason. And then Be Unique says, I am sure he is in the Guinness World Records for telling the most lies. This guy he's told thousands of them. Thousands. Tens of thousands at this point. You know, I watched these old videos of Umar, and he's saying, I'm a therapist, and I do therapists with these young thugs, and I do therapists with these homosexual children, some shit. He says some shit like that. I said to myself, he's never been a therapist. And when I go into these schools, in this one video, he's talking as if he's the you know how they have sex education? Well, I don't know what that person would be called, the sex education teacher, I guess. He was talking like that was his job. Can you imagine Umar? He said, I put up on the screen, I put, I don't know, he was naming off all these venereal diseases. And he was showing it to the kids so that they would stop being sexually active. That's what his approach was. Anyway, he up here pretending as one time he was acting like he was a gynecologist. Talk about the pH balance and all this other stuff. Most men, we don't know all that. I guess some of y'all do. I don't, you know, just tell me what if whatever I can do to help, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, Umar's a psychologist and a gynecologist. He's a psycho-gynecologist. All right. Anyway, yeah, he always talk about the Yoni verse and all this stuff. Okay. Thank you, Be Unique. Okay. And then Scott says, we all know his excuse for the failed inspection is going to be white supremacy just as planned. Again, he could flip this. He can say that this Jamaican immigrant, is working on behalf of white supremacy. Listen, Umar, he at home, he in the mama closet right now taking notes and shit. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And someone just told me, just send me an email, and this person sent me a lot of good stuff. They gave me the name of this person. He's black, and he's also a former decorated fire marshal. So I'll do some more, and thank you for sending this to me. You know who you are. I'll do some more recent research into this to see whether or not it's true that he has either ancestry from the islands, from Jamaica, or if he's a immigrant from Jamaica. Yeah, Umar better be careful too, because this guy looked like he the real deal. Yeah, he need to watch. Umar, if you're watching this, you best shut your mouth on this and stop doing this. Because see, you keep talking reckless about these city officials, and it just takes one. You're gonna mess with the wrong one. You're gonna fuck with the wrong one. It only take one. So I'm telling you right now, homeboy, you need to stop with this foolishness. If this is in fact to do, because I could tell he ain't playing no games. I could tell right away. I'm on his LinkedIn page right now. Yep, there it go. Commissioner of Licenses and Inspection. Yeah, you keep playing, Umar. Anyway, thank you, Scott. Kogo also says we had a great first inspection and we planned another one, but when I called he ghosted me, and I just want to. Yeah, we had our first date. It went well. I thought it went well. But then when I called him afterwards, he just wouldn't respond. I just want to know why. That's all. Just be honest with me. Did I do something wrong? Let's not go there again, okay? Oh, that's wild. Okay, thanks, Gogo. A lady says, just tell. What? Did I say that? I didn't say. Did I say that? Oh, I did say that earlier. I apologize. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what. I don't even remember what we was talking about, but I apologize on that one. I don't even remember saying that now. Okay, this video will probably get demonetized. That's okay. Thanks, lady. U225 says Umar wants to be an FYI federal Yoni inspector. Okay, all right. Thanks, U225. Okay, let's wind this down, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Hit that like button if you haven't hit it already. Our goal was 500. We already got to 600. So thank you guys so much. Okay, we had an awesome show. I normally don't live stream on the weekend, but Umar, he went live. That's what he was interviewed today. That's what we're covering today. And then 2 days ago, he went live. We covered that one yesterday. What's the funniest? What's the funniest thing to clown Umar about? 32% said living in his mama closet. 9% said the Asian woman trolling him. 4% said the NBA as a suspect, and 55% said the fake phone call. Yeah, so the fake phone call would probably be in the top 3. It may be number 1. Okay. All right. Thanks to everyone who voted on that. Okay, let's start winding this down, everyone. Let's play a little bit more of this. I want to play this section one more time, and then we'll skip through to the end.
And I noticed just by his behavior, he's had the school, the last thing, not only the renovations, but also the clean out of the school. And we just ready now to decorate the school, but we have to get our final building inspection and our certificate of occupancy. And just to keep the people aware of what's going on, the building inspector for our district, Bobby David, I don't think he's a Dr. Umar supporter at all. He is a...
Yeah, see, he's saying the building inspector for his district. That may not be the commissioner of licenses and inspections. The commissioner of licenses and inspections, I think, is probably over these other people. But the person who is the commissioner, he's a Marine Corps.
Black man, and he is the descendant of immigrants who came to this country. And I think that he is either he himself came to the country or he is the descendant of immigrants who came to this country, respectfully. And he doesn't really care for me, to be honest with you. And I noticed just by his behavior over the 7 years that we've had the school. The last time I saw him was on March 10th. We did a walk through the building. He told me he would give me a phone call. Because my whole thing is where we are now, we're ready for our inspection and we're ready for our certificate of occupancy. He said he would get back to me. It's been almost a month. He has not gotten back to me yet. This is not the first time I've asked.
Yeah, sorry about that. My battery had run out. Thank you guys for letting me know. But I was saying that Umar needs to be careful because he's talking about an inspector for where these, because there's different inspectors. I gave you guys the link. There's different inspectors for different areas. And I couldn't find the area for where these trap bandos sit. But for Umar to be saying that, he needs to be careful because I don't think that the commissioner of license and inspection is the person that Umar would be communicating with. I think that Umar would be communicating with whoever is over his particular area, and they would be under the commissioner of licenses and inspection. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. That's what I believe. Okay, I just looked at this, but the commissioner of license and inspection is a Marine Corps veteran and was in law enforcement, and has 25 years of service in the public safety industry, law enforcement and Marine Corps. And when I looked at, I could just tell right away. You look at his picture; he's not to be played with. So Umar, you need to be careful because you can concoct these stories. And you've already been very reckless talking about the city of Wilmington, but it only takes one person. You mess with the wrong person, or you mess with the wrong person who has a superior who would turn this into something else. And Umar, you don't want to go there. You definitely don't want to go there with this guy right here. He's commissioner of license and inspection. Okay, that's the point I want to say. Umar, you need to be careful. You need to be careful with what you're saying.
them to get in contact with me. There's been times before where I've asked them to get in contact with me. Once I asked him to do a pre-walkthrough, this a couple of years ago, I wanted him to do a pre-walkthrough, Baba, to tell us if there's anything he thinks we need to focus on. And he said he would get back to me, and he never did. And I have a whole list of things that he's done through the years that were kind of, you know, a little bit.
Yeah, so it couldn't be this guy, because this guy, he became the commissioner of license and inspection in January of, well, no, it could be 2025. But he was also deputy chief fire marshal. He was a captain for fire prevention, a lieutenant for fire prevention. I'm not going to give you guys his name. Lieutenant for fire suppression, fire inspector, investigator, going way back 7 years. He did this back in 2000, from 2004 to 2011. Firefighter. He was a firefighter as well, 1999 to 2003, amongst other things. 14 licenses and certifications. Okay, fire inspector 2, fire officer 3, certified fire plan examiner 1 and 2, hazardous material technician, hazardous material fire responder, hazardous material fire first responder, fire officer 2, fire officer 1, fire inspector 1, fire arson investigator for FEMA. Yeah, you Umar, I'm telling you now, fire instructor 1 and 2, law enforcement officer in Delaware Council on Police Training, emergency medical technician, firefighter 1 and 2. All right.
That just kind of showed me that he wasn't particularly supportive or interested in helping us get our building inspection. So right now I have an attorney looking at the situation, how we should proceed, because we should have our certificate of occupancy. We should have already had our final building inspection, and it's being held up by the inspector of our district. And he's of Jamaican origin, and I love my Jamaican Africans. Everybody know I love Jamaica. It's one of my favorite places to be in the world. I'm a very big deal.
See, he keeps saying it over. He's Jamaican. Jamaica
is a very big deal to me. But unfortunately, I have a building inspector who is of Jamaican heritage who does not show any signs whatsoever of being supportive of Dr. Umar in getting this final inspection.
Yeah, this is so low.
And his certificate of occupancy. So that's what we're fighting now. The school is done. It's just sitting there. And we're trying to find out why this man hasn't contacted me to schedule a date to come in and do the inspection. But like I said, I have an attorney looking at it, and we'll see where it goes from here. But we're being held up from our building inspector. And I just hope and pray, Baba David, that this isn't another case of a black immigrant versus a black freedman, because I'm a Pan Africanist. I believe we are all one people. I don't care whether you was born in America, whether you came by ship, whether you came by plane, whether you came by boat. We are one people, one family, one race.
That's not how you make it seem.
But I must be honest with you, it is starting to look like a black immigrant versus a freedman type of a situation.
Well,
man.
You know, we talked about this last week also, that you don't have to be white to be anti-black. You could be black and still be anti-black. But we got to take a break.
See that? Boy, this is crazy. It's crazy. Granny Archers tried to poo-poo. All right. Yeah, I just ran out of batteries. I just didn't check. Thank you, YouTube. James says this all could be part of the play, so they will fail him. Well, Umar already knows that it's going to fail. Well, no, you know, it could be. See, what Umar could be doing is that he could be setting this up now with this narrative, so that when it fails, he can simply say, "Yeah, they did come out, but they had already given me a hard time anyway, and it's discrimination, and the guy was of Jamaican descent, or you know, he's immigrant and that kind of." He may just be setting it up for that. That's possible. I mean, it's still shady. However you look at it, it's shady. Because remember, he set up the whole situation with his bank accounts allegedly being frozen by saying that I hacked his bank accounts. So maybe he's doing that here. He's setting up the play for later when it fails to be able to justify the failure, not because the buildings were not up to code, but because it's some sort of a conspiracy and it's sabotage based upon someone who is an immigrant or has immigrant ancestry and is Jamaican, and they're doing this to sabotage him because he's a DACA, a descendant of African descendant of freedmen, whatever the shit he say. That could be it. We'll see. Thanks, James. Misconfession. Lenon, don't tell Umar. Yeah, I know. I tell Umar stuff to help him sometimes. See, because it only takes, you mess with the wrong person. It only takes one person. You know, it only takes, and Umar knows that. He knows that. But I'm talking about when you're dealing with the city, or you're dealing with people who have reputations, you're dealing with people who are professionals, you're dealing with people who have connections. You mess with the wrong one, or you mess with one of the people who are under them. See, and then Umar talking about how he's has a lawyer looking into it. What, you gonna sue this guy too now? For what? Because he did these alleged things that may not have even happened. Well, if you're saying that this happened, okay. Well now they can sue you for lying about, just anyway. He lies about everything. He lied on the city already, but it only takes one. Man. Thanks, Mr. Controversy. Okay, let's wind this down, y'all. I'm gonna skip through the rest of this.
When we come back, we're going to continue the conversation with Dr. Umar in those jobs, and some of those black people know the job.
Black parents, know your school rights seminars, Baba David. This is free training.
Okay, so he's back to the black parent boot camp crap that he was doing during COVID. And again, even when that was taking place, he was traveling because he said he was going to go to 50 different states. Something crazy like that. Y'all remember that hit the one? We almost done. But see, that was a deflection from actually getting work done at these trap banners. This was during COVID. Well, he's doing it again. That was a boot camp.
It's going to be on Thursday, April the 9th. This coming Thursday.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to skip through.
Emotion. If you don't understand ADHD, you need to be there. Because I'm tired of parents, Baba, saying they don't know what to do. Well, you're going to get a free training from Dr. Umar. I don't want to hear no excuses. I had to go work, take off. I had to go to church. This is more important that day. Whatever you got going on, no excuses. 2 trainings, April 9th, April 16th, 4 to 8, Camden, New Jersey. No excuses. Text me for the flyer.
Do you have to be a parent to attend?
No, sir. Anybody can attend. Anyone who wants to know how to be an advocate for our children in these schools, because these schools are still putting our children in special ed, Baba David. Black charter schools are doing it. White charter schools are doing it. Public schools are doing it. Everybody is cashing in on black kids to get some extra money. And our parents, Baba, need to learn how to just say no. You can say no to the psychological evaluation. You can say no to the ADHD evaluation. You can say no to the preschool or autism evaluation. They need to learn how to say no. And if your child does have a disability, or if you suspect that your child really does have
you can say no to sending them donations
a disability, too. I'm going to teach them all of the safeguards, all of the steps they need to take to ensure that their child is not being exploited or that they're being overly classified or overly diagnosed. If you got a 5 or 6, 7-year-old child, Baba David, they're walking around with 4 or 5 disabilities, I believe that is overkill. That is overkill. Your child ain't got no 4 or 5 disabilities. The problem is they're loading them up like that so they can get all the money possibly for your kids, and then they want to put them in a separate classroom because the teacher don't want to be bothered with them. So we're going to go through the laws. We're going to go through the policies. We're going to go through the disabilities. We're going to go through the steps. My training is normally about 12 hours, Bob. I'm going to shrink it down to 8. Mm-hmm. It's going to be 4 hours.
He said he said he's going to shrink it down to 8. Who more crazy?
Thursday, April 9th, 4 hours next Thursday, April 16th, Camden, New Jersey. No excuses. Text me if y'all want the flyer. There is a registration link. We do want people to register to make sure we have enough materials and things there. So please register. You can text me for that link as well. Or you can go to CamdenPSU.com, CamdenPSU.com.
So you say that you will teach the parents how to say no. Will you also teach them how to say no to conversion therapy?
Well, that's, yeah. We don't deal with conversion therapy in the school system, Baba. But to that point, I'm glad you brought that up.
See, Umar talking like he's in the school system.
I don't know if you saw the recent Supreme Court decision.
Yeah, let me skip
when I was.
You have to prove that they intended to.
You have to prove that those who enslaved you and brought you over here had a psychological intent to harm your people for generations. It don't matter.
Okay, he's talking about
that, Dr. Johnson.
Absolutely, absolutely. Michael B. Jordan and Sister Tiana Teller, because both of them are on the ascent as it relates to Hollywood and their careers, you know, just getting a real big boom and a burst right now, and I support them both. And normally when you're that big, when you become the face, of your community in a given sector, they try to humble you and tame you and bring you within, their superstructure. And I'm just hoping they're strong enough to resist that temptation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this.
Yes, and
go ahead, Thelma.
And what I wanted to say to Mr. Umar, such an intelligent man, beyond belief, that I'm hearing, was that with his school and everything, I feel as though, with Maya Angelou, they bring up that, when you see a person show you who they are, that to believe them, because, a lot of our people are jealous of each other. You have other people that, even though you believe and you love completely everybody, other people don't always believe in that with us.
Man, what you talking about?
As African Americans that are considered American.
Yeah, so you see, this is what I mean with how problematic this is, because Umar set up this dynamic already of us as Black Americans versus them immigrants. And in this case, Black immigrants from Jamaica. And then this caller, you guys see what's happened here? Hit the one. The caller goes right in line with that. It's crazy.
Raised or connected to this country, they love their country for whoever they are, and from wherever they are. Africans to Africans, Jamaicans to Jamaicans. But when they have to deal with,
see that, see that already? It is. It is. It's very dangerous. It really is. Yeah. Yep. Marcus Garvey.
African American people, there is a look down, and Dr. Umar needs to realize that he has got to be able to push what he's doing above this attitude and find out why the hell his licensing for the school that he wants to build, why things are not moving. He want it moved.
Man,
Thank you, Thelma, for that call.
Yeah, this is horrible. It really is.
And I agree with you. If it has a person or a system in Wilmington, Delaware that does not want the school to open, and then they pass that down the line, then those other team players that down the line are going to try to do whatever they can to prevent the school from opening. But we, as they say, we can plan all we want, but we know who the greatest planner is of all times.
Well, cut it out. You need to cut it out. Don't invoke the Lord when you're talking to a snake, the great deceiver of our time in the Black conscious space. Cut it out. You're too old for this foolishness. Randy says everything is probably a lie, including the lawyer. Yeah, it's possible. Now, listen, I wouldn't be surprised if this is all a lie, what Umar is saying, but it still has the same effect. That's the problem. See, he says it, and then you see this woman, she falls in line. Now, it could all be fabricated. Yeah, absolutely, because Umar, he's a liar. He's a pathological liar. Great deceiver of our time. That's what he does. But it still has the same effect, the division, blaming other people. He doesn't hold himself accountable. He could be setting this up for later on when it felt like, who was it? I think it was Kogo who had said that later on, when it fails, he can go back to this and say, well, this is part of the reason why, because of this. So even though it's a lie, it still fulfills the purpose. And it's dangerous either way, whether it's the truth or this. Listen, knowing Umar, he creates these narratives and these lies. And just like he lied on the city, said they stopped communicating with him. Well, he said the same thing with this situation and this Jamaican immigrant, they stopped calling me and texting me and sending me flowers. So do I think that happened? No, I don't think that happened. But Umar says it, and his followers believe this shit. And so it still has the same effect. That's why it's so dangerous. Thank you, Randy. Ms. Controversy says, David is part of the Jux. No way this man believes Umar. Yeah, I don't think, and I've said this many times, I don't think that Father David believes Umar on most of what Umar says. Some of it, yeah. But Father David knows that he's going to get more views if he has Umar on. It's that simple, and it's crazy because when I went to go to go see if it was over with. It was still going on, and because I was going to download it for today's show, and I looked, and there was only 6 people, including myself, so 5 people inside of watching it live on Facebook. Now, and I'm sure they probably have it streamed other places too, and they may even have it like FM or I don't know, or AM. But that's staggering. To me, it is, because it shows you that it's not as if it's really meaningful, that it's reaching anyone. Umar's wasting his time, real talk. But in Father David's mind, he thinks and he believes that somehow this is going to boost his views. But there was like 6 people up in there, right? And then Umar's controversial, so there are going to be people who watch just because of that, and the archive. I get all of that. But I don't think Father David believes most of what Umar Johnson says, but he placates to Umar because he wants to have Umar come back over and over and over again. Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Controversy. KK says, newsflash, Umar, someone can dislike you and still complete their job with impartiality. Do you meet the standards or nah? Right? Real talk. He's always creating a false foe. He does. He creates enemies all over the place. He creates, he calls them haters, but there are people who are his critics, myself included. But Umar doesn't stop there. He has to create and fabricate. It's like he's like a supervillain. And as a supervillain, he has to create these foes. And these foes don't really exist. They're not even worrying about Umar. You think these professionals are worrying about Umar? Someone said it earlier. Umar thinks he's special. Even when he's persecuted, he thinks he's persecuted because he's special. No, you're not being persecuted by anyone, and you're not special. You're just a bum from Philly who living in mama closet. So, but in order for him to continue to spin his victimhood in this idea of perpetual sabotage, and this idea that he's some sort of a martyr, back in 2005, he's talking about himself like that, goofy. He has to create fake foes. Because he's let me stop. I was want to rhyme there. He has to create fake foes because Father David treats him like a hoe. Okay? Let me stop. I should do that. But he does. He does that all the time. So now the newest foe is this Jamaican immigrant. We can put one of these days, someone remind me, we'll put together a list of Umar's created foes. The city of Wilmington, Brother Jose, the HVACer, the other HVACer, the black contractor, the black electrician, the black plumber. Anyway. All right, thanks, KK. Let's see. Miss Conference says, David is, okay, I got this one. Thank you so much. Will you contact this inspector? If not, I will. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to tell you, Estavares, I don't think that Umar, I don't think that any of this happened. I don't think that Umar contacted someone and asked them to do a pre-inspection months ago. I don't think that Umar was ghosted by this inspector and the inspector hasn't called him back or whatever, or texted him or sent him flowers. I'm sorry. I don't believe any of it. I think Umar is just crafting, it's the early stages of a narrative. It's a little bit more specific than what he was proposing before, but the next round, when he brings this back up, it'll probably be even more specific. I do know this, that if Umar continues to run with this narrative, and if at any point he mentions someone's name, that's when I'll contact the appropriate person. See, because he did that with no, he didn't do that with the other. No, did he do that with the brother from the mayor's office last year? I don't think he gave the brother's name. I don't think he did. But I did communicate with that brother because I want to verify what this other brother had reported on YouTube. I can't remember his name right now. I want to verify that he actually emailed that brother, but I don't remember him mentioning that guy's name. But if he mentions names, and that's when I would contact whoever he mentions, saying, listen, I want you to let you know that Umar, this is what he's saying, just so that you're aware of it. Okay. Yeah, the brother's name was Daniel T. Walker, but I don't think Umar ever mentioned him. Okay. Thank you for that. Who was that? That was Estevades. Thank you for that. User 225 says dissing immigrants instead of asking follow-up questions. Yeah, they went right with it. Father David went right with it, and then the caller goes right with it, just like, just horrible. Dominique says the city accepted his application, though it was a year late and waived $40K when Umar paid the property taxes. Yet Umar claims they're against him. Yeah, you're talking about his application for what, for the certificate of occupancy? Isn't that what you're talking about? Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. Listen, Umar, the total amount that he had to pay on taxes because he didn't have his paperwork in order, based upon my calculations, was $172,931.86. Yeah, I actually looked that up today because I was trying to find who the person is. The inspector is for the area where these trap banners are located. And when I found the page where it says, I think I put that inside the chat room earlier. Let me see if I still have the link on here. No, it's not there. When I went on that website for Meet Your Inspector, this is the one right here. I just put it inside the chat room. If you scroll down, you can do a parcel search. And we should do this years ago. And that's where they would show taxes and stuff like that. From what I remember, I haven't looked at it in years. There should be a place on here where you can look up, I can't remember if it was this website, where you can look up whether or not permits were pulled for let me just try something real quick. Yeah, we're almost done. Let me see, parcel. Yeah, it's not coming up here. Oh, I'm in the wrong document. Yeah, let me just try and see if I can pull it up real quick. I got to go to my old document. I have an old document from like 2019, 2020, 2022. Okay, so this is one of the parcel numbers right here. I think this is for the large building. And it should come up. Yeah, it's under Douglas Frederick Garvey Marcus, as Umar. But I thought that there were, yeah, I'm not seeing it here. Property characteristics, taxes. Maybe it's under this. Let me see. Yeah, I haven't been on this in a long time. Yeah, but there should be an area on here. I thought it was on this website. Maybe it was another one where you can look up permits that were pulled for work. There's code violations, link, tax billing, elevators, certificates. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have any elevators. And there's only one floor. There's no basement. Recent sale. Yeah, it's not on here. It's on, but it's on, because I remember we looked at this many years ago. I would have to go and find it. Anyway, thanks, Dominique. Okay, let's finish this up. Okay, I just want to play. I'll skip through.
But as someone was talking about black people not uniting, Dr. Johnson, I heard recently Roland Martin saying that he's asking all of the sororities, all the fraternities.
Yeah, he's going to go off on Roland Martin. He don't like Roland Martin.
All the Masons to come together now because we're under threat.
After we vote, see, and then we know that he's paid by the Democratic Party to push the black vote. Al Sharpton is paid by the Democratic.
Yeah, see how he gets upset? Yeah, Father David start rocking back and forth.
Party to push the black vote. So yes, I agree with him, Baba, that everyone needs to come together. I support that part. What is the goal? What is the?
Oh yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I got you.
Vision. That's.
You can go on that website though too, and you can look at the amount that he paid and when he paid for all of the taxes that were due, the property taxes for 2019 and 2020. He got his tax exempt status again in 2020, but it wasn't retroactive for that year. Right, but you can find it on that website too.
The most important part. The devil is always in the details.
Not only that, but we need to come together financially. Economically, we need to come together.
Thank you. If there's going to be no financial revolution in Black America, we're done. We might as well dig our own. Ditches for our corpses right now. If Black America is never going to get serious about financial unity and financial.
Man, why is Father David rocking back and forth? Yeah, I'm looking right here. This was for the large building. It was $112,485.53, and it wasn't paid as of April 30th of 2022. But he did end up paying this, because you can go. There's another thing you can look at on this website, and it'll show you where he paid this off. Let me see. Current tax bill. Maybe this is it. No, that's the back page. That's not it. 420, and then they and that's just for the large building. And then I would have to go and get the parcel for the smaller building and look that up too. But my calculations, by the time he paid all this off with all penalties that had accrued, I mean, like interest and stuff and fees, it was $172,931.86 wasted money.
Empowerment with our own Black dollar, we never going to get free. And this is why you heard me say before, and some people can.
No, Randy, I can't do that. Okay, I can't do that. All right. Thanks for super chat, though.
Be controversial, Baba. When I say reparations, we can still fight for it. But this generation of African people in America don't deserve reparations. It needs to go to a subsequent generation who are going to be more responsible for it. And I say that, Baba, because as a $2 trillion.
Yeah, who is he to make that call, though?
People who are the richest group of Africans in the world in terms of take-home pay, we don't use the money we already have responsibly. Look at
Umar, you don't have a job. What are you talking about?
And wigs and Air Jordans and vacations and parties and concerts and basketball games and football games. But where your schools at? Where your hospitals at? Where your banks at? Where your supermarkets at? Where your jobs at for your young people? And you think I'm going to give you responsibility to disseminate the reparations package?
What do you mean? You have the power to give. Who are you?
For all African people, reparations is not just for Black people alive today. Reparations is for our ancestors as well as the unborn. And people who don't spend money right now, who don't spend money responsibly in the present, Baba, why
he always gets mad when he talk about money.
We expect them to spend money responsibly in the future.
And you talk about concerts. I was just noticing online that Cardi B in Madison Square Garden tickets was $300. I said, who can afford that?
Well, Jay-Z, I heard Jay-Z tickets in New York, because Jay-Z got an upcoming 2 concerts in the Yankee Stadium.
Yankee, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be Yankee Stadium, because Yankees is larger than Barclays, I believe.
Yeah.
How many it can hold.
Right.
And I think some of his tickets are going, I heard 7,000. I don't know if that's the cheapest.
How many?
But I heard 7,000.
Wow.
Okay, well, if people want to pay, whatever people want to go watch him, they can do what they want to. Cut it out. Who might raise millions of dollars with nothing to show for it.
Why do they need that much?
We'll pay it. Listen, though, Bob, we will pay it. We will pay it. And the minute you say, let's build a school, let's build a bank.
I ain't got no money.
Yeah. Oh, I ain't got
Here you go.
no money for that. I ain't got no time for that. So we will pay $7,000 for Jay-Z. We'll pay $7,000 to go to
Umar really thinks that all Black people owe him money.
Europe and vacation with some white folks who don't even like us. We'll spend $7,000 for a Birkin bag. We'll spend it on anything useless, anything foolish.
He said a burping bag. What in the world is it?
But anything constructive and progressive, it's the problem all of a sudden. Black people.
Yeah, D. Will. It's a lot of tough talk from a bum with no job living in a mama closet. That's crazy. Yeah, he says 7K. He probably exaggerating though. Thanks, D. Will. We're almost done.
People are allergic to their own progress.
Wow.
Umar, you were allergic to work and were allergic to a job.
It is because of the conditioning. They have conditioned us to be like that. And that's why, how many generations would it take in order for us to turn things around? Because they certainly have turned around a lot mentally and psychologically for Black people. They
Okay, so it says resale tickets for Jay-Z's July 2026 concert at Yankee Stadiums are in high demand, generally starting around $300 to $500 for the cheapest seats, with some premium front row or surprisingly even upper level seats reaching over $1,000 to $12,000. Okay, so it's not $7,000 just all the way across the board. Shows are nearly sold out, driving up prices on secondary markets. So there's cheapest options are $309 to $326. Average price. This is average price is $500 to $700. And then the premium front row tickets they range from $1,100 to $1,800. And then the high end listings, some tickets, including select bleacher seats, have reached over $12,000. Okay, and that's more for high end listings. But Umar trying to act like everyone's paying that. That's not the case. And regardless, people can spend their money however they want to. Umar, go get a job. Okay, you wouldn't be worrying about black people and count black people's pockets all the time, and what they're doing with their grit money and their Nike money and their food time. I don't know, whatever. If you had your own job, was making your own money.
Found a way to separate the black family, to turn our black women around. To
Father David, shut your ass up. Don't nobody want to hear this foolishness.
Be against black men against black women. So how many generations is it going to take in order for us to turn things around? And if not, if they don't turn around, where are we headed?
Psychological.
Oh, you going to go see Godfrey? April 16 tickets for 6. That's cool. Yeah. Tell him I said what's up.
Psychological problems do not self-heal, Baba. Psychological problems do not self-heal. There is no mental illness. And my doctorate is clinical psychology. I've studied psychology since I was 18 years old. There is no mental problem.
And you ain't worked. Let me stop.
Depression, bipolar, borderline, schizophrenic, suicidality, low self-esteem, domestic abuse, eating disorders. There is.
See, he's talking. This is all projecting on his part. It's interesting.
No mental illness that will self-correct. But if you don't address it, it will get worse over time, Baba. What you're seeing right now, look at our young people crashing out, running into malls, busting into the stores, stealing everything out the mall. Guess what, Bob?
It's always the worst case scenarios. Like all black kids are doing that. Cut it out.
But that could have never happened.
You need to be taking care of your kids. What you need to do.
They had something to do. Mm-hmm. The cities have nothing for them to do. Mm-hmm. The black churches have nothing for them to do. The black
FDMG ain't got nothing for them to do either.
Community has nothing for them to do. So guess what? The behavior of black youth is going to get worse if it doesn't get addressed, because all mental illness gets worse. It doesn't stand still. Mm-hmm. Look, black male and female relationships. Look at the incidents of black men who are now unaliving their women. Look at every time you turn on the TV, another black man has unalived his wife, sometimes the children, and himself. 40 years ago, Baba, if you saw a headline that says man unalives wife, children, and takes his own life, we knew what color that man was. We knew what color that man was. We never did that. Look at us now. We're committing the same crimes that our oppressor historically is known to have committed. Why? Because our self-hate, our mental illness, our racial depression is only going to get worse if we don't address it. If you think we're in trouble now, imagine where we'll be in 25 years if we don't address it. But then again, it might not be no black people in 25 years because everybody will be mixed race because we want to have babies with white women because we think a mixed race baby looks better than an all black.
Yeah, I want to have a baby with some good hair. That's what the girls say. I would have a baby with this man because he got good hair. So my baby has some good hair.
Until we have our own schools, Bob. Until we have our own schools, our children will remain fools.
That's poetic. So then, how do we redirect this wagon? We could tell we're going downhill. So how do we put the brakes on and turn it around?
Organization.
We need more money.
And financial solidarity. You already mentioned it. The crux. What is the Achilles heel of black people? Financial solidarity, financial commitment, financial sacrifice. We don't want to hear it. We will do anything you want us to do except use our money. You want me to vote? No problem. I got you.
It's all about money.
March? No problem. I got you. You want me to boycott Target? No problem. I got you. But don't ask me to give you no money. If it ain't in the name of Jesus, if it ain't in the name of Jesus or Muhammad, do not ask me for no money. And that's the problem with the American Negro, because we only get serious when somebody...
This is someone who's collected millions of dollars out from black people, and not one black boy has been educated. Black people haven't benefited from not a dime that they sent to Umar. The audacity of this guy, the sense of entitlement, it's part of the narcissism.
It brings us a religion.
We got Eric on the phone line from New Orleans. Hey, Eric, can't hear from you in a minute. How you doing, man?
Hey, congratulations, David, on 24 years.
Isn't that something?
Listen to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Dr. Johnson, in terms of psychological issues not healing on them by themselves. Cicely Tyson, she was one of the first to come out with natural hair, but I noticed later in her years.
I thought I edited this part out because he was talking for. Let me skip through.
Instead.
But most of us are psychologically defeated.
Yeah, I edited it out.
Most of our people in this country are psychologically defeated. We're just
all negative.
going through the motions. We're just going through the motions. We have no belief whatsoever in being able to change the reality for African people in America at all. At all. We don't think it's possible. We do not, even in the black consciousness community.
Yeah, this is all black disempowerment, degrading black people, making it seem as if black people ain't worth a dime.
We don't even think it's possible. We just go through the motions. Because if we were serious, we would be building. People who are serious about their future, they build.
Yeah, Umar would say, black women, they dye their hair, but you dye your hair too. And your mama closet. Well, you don't do it in the closet, you do it in the bathroom. There's probably, let me stop. Let me stop.
What are we building independently in any city in this country without white oversight and white philanthropy? Nothing.
Not a thing.
Nothing. Very little. Everything is either funded by white people, involving white people.
Yeah, but your nonprofit status is through the quote unquote white man.
And almost nothing is being done by black people on their own. We're the only people who do not value independence. Independence is damn near a cursed word in the black community. We don't want to hear anything about no independence. The first time you say we need something done, let's go see which elected official we can get to do it. What about the money in your pocket? What about the money in your pocket?
It's all about money. He wants everybody's money.
Black people do not want to use their money to free themselves. And until we use our money to free ourselves, we'll never be free because freedom ain't free.
It sure ain't. It's expensive. It costs a lot of.
So get on your PayPal.
Why the Black is Beautiful movement and us wearing African attires.
Let me skip through.
The only African country to never be colonized. Why are white people allowed to wear the Ethiopian flag? There's very few white people living in Ethiopia. Why are white people wearing the Ethiopian flag? Because when you let them do it, anything your oppressor is allowed to share from your culture automatically loses its value. I'll give you something else. Kwanzaa. Before Dr. Karinga said white people could participate, when it was all black, Kwanzaa was a very powerful holiday. It still is to some extent. It still is. But it don't carry the same power. Why? Because white people participate in Kwanzaa. I'll give you something else. Negro History Week. Dr. Carter G. Woodson, which turned 100 years old on February the 7th, which coincidentally is the same day we bought FDMG, right? So when Negro History Week and Black History Month was only celebrated by black people, it was sacred, it was strong, it was powerful. The minute we start letting the White House celebrate black history, the minute we start letting white people celebrate black history, it lost its sting. We have failed to realize that anything that is black must stay all black, and the minute you let red, yellow, white, or brown into it, you kill.
Red, yellow, white, or brown? So he's bringing that back too. What about red? Did he say yellow? That's the Asians.
The power.
The Asians are the yellow, the white. That's the European whites. The browns are the. I don't know. I never really understood I guess the browns are the I don't know. Maybe the people. I think they classify the people from the islands, like Hawaiians, and I think those were the browns. And in the red, that was the Native Americans. Just awesome science. Awesome science. No, I'm talking about the racial classifications because they weren't taught. I don't know what the Mexicans would fall under back then, because I don't think Mexico was around back then, or maybe it was. I would have to go back and look. It's just a bunch of Fruit Loops. Nowadays, when people say brown, it's usually Latinos, Mexicans. But I'm talking about racial classifications in the hierarchy and that foolishness going way, way back. the Blumenbach and those other fools. Let's go.
And you killed the sacredness of it. Keep it all black, or there's no need to
let me take myself off.
That's amazing. Yep, power to the people, not power to everybody.
Yeah, I took it off.
Those are the two methods that they use to minimize our potency through the media and then allowing them to interact in our social gatherings.
They integrate. Look at the George Floyd protest. Perfect recent example. The George Floyd protest. The George Floyd protest back in the year 2000, I think that would have been, was the largest social protest by black people in American history since the 1967 long red hot summer when we had all them race riots across America in 67 and then Dr. King's execution in 68. So you had back-to-back long hot summers in black America.
Memphis.
The George Floyd protest almost eclipsed both of them. Not in terms of revolutionary fervor, because there was no revolutionary spirit in the George Floyd protest. And you want to know why? White people integrated it. They took it.
Well, you was out there with them white people celebrating when the Eagles won that championship about 4 years ago.
They co-opted it. The Pew Research said 4 out of 5 protesters in the George Floyd protest.
We didn't take the camera off. Put the love on. That's because I had my mic was still on. You don't want to hear me because I'll be, I'll be sounding like a werewolf or Klingon or something.
All across the country, every city. I went to the one here in Philadelphia. 4 out of every 5 protesters was somebody other than a black person.
Wow.
How in the hell is this a black protest? And 4 out of every 5 protesters is not black. You know why? Because when a George Floyd
D-Nice, Jermaine's always in somebody's pocket. When he blew all the donation money on strippers and barbecues. Yeah, Umar looked like he eats some barbecue though, don't he? He do. Umar, he looked like, I'm talking about the Texas barbecue. You know what I'm talking about? He looked like he'll eat a rib or 2. All right, thanks, D-Nice. Okay, I got this one earlier. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, it's just I'm gonna skip through now because
got started. We did
anything marked on your calendar.
It's the self-hate. I think it's the self-hate.
We love them. So why do you think that you get so much more reception from people outside the country?
It's the self-hate. I think it's the self-hate.
Yeah. So again, this is disparage black people here in the United States of America. He all over the place.
More than anything else. Unfortunately, we still suffer from crabs in a barrel here. We don't like to see anybody succeed. The toxicity amongst our people has to be at an all-time high. I mean, you go on
all negativity.
YouTube, you go on Instagram, you go on any social media platform, Baba, and you see almost no constructive conversation. Literally, the closest constructive conversation you will get is analysis of Donald Trump's behavior, but that's not constructive because it's not going to change anything for Black America. And then after that, it'll be black male-female relationships, which often disintegrates into a non-constructive, egotistical battle between the men and the women. And for the life of me, Baba, as I've said before, I ain't
never heard of this. Barbecue fox backs.
Why do you keep having all these conversations about black male-female relationships when the children are not being taken care of in the community? Why don't we stop talking about black love relationships for a minute and start talking about how we're going to serve and help our young people? They out here running these streets. Suicides at an all-time high. We just had a young brother at an HBCU. God rest his soul down in Carolina. He just took us to the ground because we have neglected them, and they're angry because of it. The community do for its youth. All these black churches, and all they do is teach them the Bible. That's all you can do with all the money you got coming into your mega church.
See, mainly talking about money because he need money, and he's mad because he ain't got no money.
The only thing you can offer black youth is a Bible lesson. How about an after-school job for starters?
Well, speaking.
How about you get a job before school, during school, or after school? It don't matter.
About one of the ways to save our black children is to have them come to your seminars. Tell us about your seminar again, so that people can come and learn how to save their black children.
Absolutely, Dr. Umar. And this is the first time I'm offering this for free, Baba, because before I would charge for it because it is a very intense type of a thing. It takes a lot of energy. You know, it's a very
that's real talk, Umar. Let me stop. It's ridiculous. Umar's such a hypocrite, and he always disparaging black people for not taking care of their kids, but he don't take care of none of his kids.
Training, and it's going to be in Camden, New Jersey, this Thursday. So you're talking what? Monday, Tuesday, 4 days from now.
That's a good point, lady. I noticed how Baba never asked Umar Johnson about how his children are doing. And come to think of it, when he goes on these platforms, you don't hear him asking, how are your children doing? Because he's a deadbeat. And he don't know anyway. He's not in their lives. I never thought of that, but that's true. You guys notice that? Yeah, never. You never hear that. But that's because Umar, he's not an active part. I'm sorry, this guy, he's such a bull. It's just disgrace. It's disgusting. Got all these kids. Just in Philadelphia alone, he got 3 baby mamas. And a 4th woman tried to put him on child support, but was unsuccessful. That's just in Philadelphia. And yet he wants to tell black people how, especially you black parents, because they ain't talking to me. You black parents, how y'all ain't shit. You ain't taking care of your kids, right? And you got them in the prison to school to prison pipeline, which is FDMG. Let me stop. And he does all that. Meanwhile, he don't even take care of his kids. He don't even care. He's a disgrace. All right, here we go.
Thursday from 4 o'clock until 8 o'clock, we will be at the Imani Community Fellowship.
That's a good point, Summer
in Camden, New Jersey, at 3901 Westfield Avenue. 3901 Westfield Avenue at the Imani Community Fellowship from 4 until 8. That's going to be part 1. Part 1 is this Thursday, April 9th, 4 to 8, 3901 Westfield Avenue in Camden. And then next Thursday is part 2, same time in Camden, 4 to 8, but it's going to be at the Camden High Campus, 1700 Park Boulevard. Now, here's what I want your listening audience.
Yeah, shout out to Tomo. He said, he the wrong person to call out any of this. My wife in the bedroom sleep with our 9-month, congratulations, a 9-month-old, and my 12-year-old's watching Allen Iverson documentary. Yeah, all under one. Hey, man, shout out to Domo. Yeah, and all the other fathers out there, and mothers for that matter, but the fathers out there who handling business. I don't want people to think that we all like Umar, right? So shout out to you. That's cool. His son watching Allen Iverson. Like, yeah. Okay, let's go.
Philadelphia parents, you know y'all need to be there because Philadelphia has some of the highest special ed rates, some of the highest ADHD rates, and Philadelphia is among top 5 in the country for suspension and expulsion. So if there's no black Philadelphia parent in that training on Thursday, that is going to be a crisis and a shame. But here's what I want the listening audience to know, Baba David. The information I give out on part 1, I will not be giving out on part 2.
Mm-hmm.
This is a part, in other words, it's not a redundancy.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a redundant training. Part 1 will lead to part 2. So if you say I can't make part 1, I can only come to part 2, you should still come. Because you're still going to get information you need. But if you really need this information, you need to be there for part 1 and part 2. You need both parts. Because remember, Baba, it's a 12-hour training. I'm going to squeeze it into 8. So I'm already...
He said he's going to squeeze it into 8. That's crazy.
Cutting off 1/3 of the time I normally allot to this. So I'm encouraging parents, come both days.
Stop begging for everything. He begged for money. He begged for cooch. He'll beg for people to come to his boot camp. What? Stop begging. If you're the most requested, you ain't got to do all that begging. Big Papa. And you see him, he's desperate to come. You got to come to it. If you come to it, make sure you bring 15 kids with. Bring your 15 kids. Why are you begging if you're the most requested? Please, if you can please come, please.
If you can. If you can only do one, so be it. But you really need to be there for both. And if anybody needs the flyer, You can text me for the flyer or the registration link. You can still come if you're not registered, but we would appreciate it if you were registered. And you can text my cell at 215.
Yeah, make sure you bring your wallet, bring some water, bring your kids. If you could bring me a ham sandwich, I need 2 ham sandwiches for the first 2 hours. If you got Hot Pockets, bring Hot Pockets, because there is a microwave. You can bring some Hot Pockets and some Capri Suns. We need Capri. All right.
989-9858. That is 215-989-9858. Also, Bob, my online book club that I do on Instagram.
This is the
I've been having too much trouble with new people trying to register for the book club. So I'm going to be moving the book club.
No, you said that you weren't getting the type of amount of people to sign up. Now he changed the story now.
To another platform, and I will let folks know about that platform. Right now, we're reading Medical Bondage, a very powerful book on how Black women were the foundation of the creation of the sciences of gynecology. A lot of people don't know that. The first gynecologist, a white man, his first clinic, Baba, was at a slave plantation doing dangerous experiments on our female ancestors. That's the book we're reading now, Medical Bondage. The first book was grandfather of Black History Month, Dr. Carter G. Woods' Miseducation of the Negro. And then on our next session, we'll be finishing up Medical Bondage, and I'll be announcing the 3rd book. So we're only 3 books into the book club. It's only been going on since February. If anybody want to be a part of the online book club, text me.
What was the first book was Carter G. Woods, and then you're going to go to gynecology? How you going to go from the miseducation of the Negro to gynecology? What are you talking about? Yeah. Join Umar Jam's club, okay? All right.
In about 2 weeks, and so I can let you know what platform the book club will be on, and they can sign up at that time.
He don't even know what platform it's going to be on.
That's great. We had a caller that called in on our chat line and wanted to know the location of the school. I said Wilmington, Delaware. You know, because we want to make sure,
because they should know by now. Yeah, it's been in the same place for 7.
Listen, it was around 31. Yeah, 31 subscribers to his book club out of 1.2 million followers. That's crazy.
7 years. If they don't know by now, it ain't no need to tell them.
I said,
it's less than 1%.
We have all our security cameras in place.
We do. Security cameras is everywhere. We definitely see everything.
Coming up there thinking you're going to vandalize again.
Cut it out.
But I do want to say this, though, Baba, for brothers and sisters who might want to donate an item of furniture. Let's say you have a painting that you think will go well in the school, or you have a couch that you're not using.
Yeah, it's 0.0025%. Signed up.
You got some books, Black History books you want to donate to the library. If there's anybody out there who has a donation for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy, I'm asking them not to send it, Baba, until they send me a picture of the items they want to donate. So take a picture on your phone of the items you want to donate, text that to my cell phone, 215-989-9858, or email that to me, Prince of Pan Africanism @gmail.com. Prince of Pan Africanism @gmail.com. Pan Africanism, we spell Africa with a K, not with a C. We spell it with a K, and there is no hyphen. There is no hyphen between Pan and Africanism. We say it as one word. So Prince of Pan Africanism @gmail.com. Spell Africa with a K. Send me the picture of the items you want to donate, because once we get this building inspection, because we're going to get
BBK,
no matter what it takes, we're not going to let this person stop us opening up our school because of his personal feelings for me.
Big Dave, what's up,
once it's open, it's time to decorate. And so if there's anything you think you want to donate, you might have a plant, you want to donate a plant to the school, send me a...
What did I tell you guys yesterday that Umar should get in that room? See that? When he was showing the classroom with the all the desks in there and wiping it with the toxic chemical, I said you should get a plant and put it right there by that window. With the one. See, I'm telling you guys, there's plenty of times where this has happened with Umar. I'll give him some suggestions. The next time he goes live, next time he's interviewed, that's oh yeah, I'm going to, and he does it. So Umar Johnson followers, y'all need to start thanking me in the Cook Crush chat for getting Umar to do stuff, because there you have it right there. Yeah, I said plants. He should get a plant. Joker says, Umar aggravates my soul. How he always asking for something for free? You collected 1.7 million. Use your own money. Yeah, it's got to be closer to 3 million at this point. But what I can prove without a shadow of a doubt is 1.9 million if we go with the purchase price of these trap bandos at 700,000, which Umar Johnson has proposed. But it's 1.6 million if we go with the $400,000 purchase price for these trap bandos that's listed online, and he also reported that to the IRS. It's a little bit more than $400,000. But the point is that Umar, he's closer to 3 million at this point, but he's so used to this. He's been living off of the people. I mean, he stops working consistently in 2006, and he starts working intermittently in the charter school system up until 2010. And then that's when he makes this transition. He gives up his career. It was already failing, but he gives it up and he starts speaking, and he's been living off of black people ever since. That's a long time. 15, 16 years. So the thing is, no amount of money is ever going to put Umar at rest and at peace, because the way that he operates, the money comes in, the money goes out. He's been living like this for such a long time. He knows no other way. And so he's always desperate for money. See, Umar, he's one of those types of people, when he wakes up, he's thinking about survival. How do I get money out of people? He's not thinking about, okay, let me go to my job or let me go to my place of business. He's not thinking about that. How do I get more money out of people to survive? And it's because of that he has this sense of entitlement, because his donors have given him millions of dollars at this point. So in Umar's mind, there's no need to change, even though it's still a struggle. There's no need to change, and he doesn't see any other way. And so in his own mind, he has this sense of entitlement. So no amount of money is ever going to be enough. And so he continues to he collects all this money, and then he asks for stuff for free. How do you collect millions of dollars and you're asking people to send you stuff for free? Well, it just proves that what I've been trying to explain to people is that Umar's been living off of this money. FDMG family, the money gone. All right, thanks, Joe. Okay, this is the end right here.
Picture of that stuff now, so as soon as we get our certificate of occupancy, we can tell those individuals to go ahead and mail their things in.
All right, good. Thank you so much, Dr. Umar Ifatunde Johnson, for joining us today on this.
All right, that's it. Thank you guys for tuning on in. We're at 732 likes. Let's see if we can get to 750 before we get out of here. I want to thank everyone for tuning on in. Okay. Hope you enjoyed the show. Also want to thank all the mods for handling business today. Thanks to everyone started Cookie Crush chat. Thanks to everyone who sent in super chats, and if you sent in cash apps or if you sent in super stickers, thank you so much for being so gracious. And I appreciate all of the support. I don't take it for granted. Trust me. Yeah, I appreciate you all. I hope everyone had a wonderful time. I know I did. SH Play says, as you've said, the annual operating costs would be more than Umar could handle should the school open. Yeah. It would be in the millions of dollars. So, you know, Umar is saying at one point he was saying he hadn't raised $1 million. Now he's saying I've never had $1 million at one time. Well, how are you going to pay for operating costs just for 1 year? If after it's really 14 years of collecting donations, because back in 2012, he was collecting donations in the form of land. That'd be the next segment of the documentary. So if you can't come up with operating cost enough money to pay for operating costs over the last 14 years, how are you going to come up with the money for operating costs for 1 year? Does that make sense? He hasn't come up with enough money to cover 1 year of operating costs in 14 years of collecting donations. And he doesn't have the money now, obviously. Again, this is why Umar wants to extend this out as long as possible. This is why he doesn't want to get to the inspection, because he knows it's going to fail. He also wants it to fail because that gives him more time to extend this. But he wants it to fail because he's being persecuted by this Jamaican immigrant. And it's these immigrants now against him. They're against the black people here in the United States of America. So he wants to blame it on them as opposed to owning up to it and holding himself accountable and saying, hey, listen, I didn't know what I was doing. Renovations are not complete. The buildings are not up to code, and it's on me. All right. Thanks, SH Play, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Okay, everyone, again, thank you everyone inside the Cook Correct Chat. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you haven't hit that like button, go on and hit it. We reached the goal and we're at 766. So we got to 750. Thank you so much. If anything comes up tomorrow, I will live stream tomorrow. Okay. Otherwise, it's just going to be about I got to get going on this documentary. I've been working on it, but I'm in the end of 2012. I have one more video to go through. And then there's one more screenshot from Umar's Facebook page, the last screenshot from December, the end of December of 2012. And then once that's done, I'll record the voiceover because I've already written it, but I'll record it. And then I'll start putting that into the timeline. And then once that's done, I'll go through and just edit things up even clearer. And then it'll be ready. Okay. So hang in there to all of the members. I want to thank you guys as well for all of your support. Okay. And as we always do,
may expose me on one of these podcasts one day and say, Daddy, you're the reason I can't find good black love because you never validated me as a woman.
Oh my gosh, so you're fancy, huh?
Yeah, black community activist. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
yes, ma'am.
Well, good for you.
Thank you.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Good
yeah, happy
for
Easter
you.
to everybody.
I wasn't there for my daughter. And she may expose me on one of these podcasts one day and say, Daddy, you're the reason I can't find good black love because you never validated me as a woman.
Good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you guys. Had a wonderful time with you all as well as yesterday. Okay. What's up, Ray? Hope you're doing all right. What's up, Ike? Courtney's in the building and Blondie Blue Eyes. Nana is in the building as well. Thank you so much, Nana, for the kind words. I appreciate it. And thanks to John for tuning on in. One shot game. BDK, 78 Will Page. All right.
Make you go stepping out of control.
Go. Yeah, happy Resurrection Day, ladies. All right. Thank you, Wanda. What's up, first? Take a lot.
Make you go stepping out of control.
Thanks, my dear. Peace to you as well. Yeah, he is. That's what he do. Yeah, peace to you. Yeah, thank you for that. Hey, Lady Renee.
It's me against the light, snow bunny. Everything's alright. Got that smooth, so good. No, that's next to the law. With my snow bunny love.
Yeah.
See your eyes shine. She's my snow bunny face. In the winter light, so she's my sweet dove of free. Talk to my nose, this lover's got is so raw. Make you go stepping
thank you, Leslie.
out of control.
Your cat looks like me. Look.
It's me against the light, snow bunny. Moving on the car. Everything's alright. Got that smooth, so feel. No, that's next to the
Yeah, that's true, holograph. Yep. All right. Thank you guys again for tuning on in. Shout out to everyone inside the Cook that's undefeated. Yeah, I'll see you guys very, very soon. Thank you guys again for all of your support. Everyone who sent in super chats, super stickers, or cash apps. Thank you guys so much. Okay. Stay humble. Have the spirit of appreciation. Lord give it, Lord take it. All right. Love y'all. Take care. Peace.